Welcome, everybody, to another rousing game of the DPL between Yaokuza and Gnomes. I'm joined here by my co-caster, Surfront. Are you
Hello.
ready to see some Due Process League action?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Both of these teams have been really competitive, and they're already in the match, so I guess we're gonna hop right in there.
Yep.
And also, the match that is going to be happening as well today, but I believe won't be streamed, is going to be Kickflip versus Wasted Potential, and we'll be sure to give you guys update throughout the casting session of how that may go. So,
Well, as you're kind of coming in here, we saw Gnomes taking on Global Breakout yesterday, and that actually was a lot closer game than I initially thought it would be. Global Breakout is a very, very good team, and Gnomes kind of stepped up and really gave them a run for the money. Even I would say that the scoreline did not reflect the overall gameplay, but it got close in a couple of points here. So I think if YY doesn't bring their A game here, they're gonna have a strong opponent here in Gnomes.
yeah, and YY faced Quack yesterday, and pretty much it wasn't a full body, but they did, they were the better team and they won. So that's how we're seeing them now. And yeah, and now that, but they do have, in my opinion, now a more tough opponent, and we're on this Operation Red Storm. Do you see anything, anything that stands out about this map?
Well, I mean, looking at it, this red door on the south side gets you a nice coverage over the bomb. You only have to be concerned over two positions here off of the backside and off of this office. You also have to be kind of concerned off of the hard angle that somebody can take. So it looks like they're just gonna go server farm.
They're farm for lights right off the bat. Not too bad. Lights on factories, always a solid thing to do. I actually don't think Gnomes will be really defending lights too much, just besides playing this like initial hallway entry, but they're mostly just going to be playing this whole open area of factory, not even trying to hold storage and server farm. So
Yeah, it seems like they're figuring it's going to be this dock push, possibly. They have a lot of defense located on the south side of the map, allowing the attackers here to kind of get in. Looks like Gnomes kind of taking a little bit of their, YY taking a little bit of their time getting out of their truck as they approach in and blow server farm. Then smoke goes out, which allows them to get in immediately. Jet now kind of taking position here with that Saber inside as they start pushing office. Lights go out. Sleep throws out a molly. A frag goes out to clear the wire that is in office, or at least tried to clear it. Coop now coming in off the green door at the north. Jet has everything pinned down and takes the first shot. Molly goes out, was a little bit short, but I don't think that's going to do much as they start pushing office. Sleep is the first point of contact as he drops Tommy and gets out. Yes. Takes cover. So Jet picks up two more though on that back side as Merchant and Box go down as the attackers are now pushing into that top side. Index finally gets Jet but is taken out in reply, and it's all over already. Very clean as once they took office, there wasn't a whole lot of spots for the defenders to be, and Jet with that 3K coming in just taking everybody's head off.
and you see when they had lights control Jet Saber, even though it got nerfed, you can still see in the dark, and it's gonna, like you said, it took 3 players taking down both Excited, Merchant, Vision. So, and that's huge, that's pretty much all their guys that are watching this double door, and then the rest of YY is just gonna flood in through office and take that and force, because they were so the YY players. And then they catch Sleep, and then they catch Index with the lights, off, so Index cannot turn around in time to take out his Ghetto.
Yeah.
Ghetto.
I'm just surprised Box did not get this snipe on Jet. Merchant got popped, and then Jet just turned it and took him out, and it was like a 1-2. It wasn't even like there was time in between. Oh no! Did they not defuse there? Right, last second. Didn't I swear I saw them. I thought they defused it. So
Did it glitch out?
possibly.
No, they got it.
No, they got it. They got it. You're driving me crazy. No, it didn't. Maybe no, maybe for you, not on mine. It did not explode. You're crazy.
Who knows? Due
Constant's
process.
seeing things in his sleep right now. I don't know what's
Maybe
going
he's not.
on.
Maybe it's just a due process moment.
Maybe he's in the future. I don't know what's happening. I mean,
This is
I'm seeing on the
confusing.
game right now that the
What do the
YY
DPL
took it.
rules say
So.
about this type of situation?
In any case, we're here on Thor to Eastward, looking at the C store. They've already used a door charge, which gives them 2 options coming in here.
Yeah, yeah. So most likely you'll probably see a wall charge, generic thing on C store. But it looks like they really do have 2 good options on the C store. This being a newer tile set is also the bathroom and the fridge just gives you complete bomb control. But yes, of course, you need to watch out for like the freezer. Like just one barb here and a freezer player here, and also the office swing. This window does give you a little bit of a line of sight in the office, but I don't think Gnomes is going to see this bathroom play because it's not the best option to do here compared to the storefront and storage blow for lights. You can take lights again when you only lost 1 player on the last round, but looks like they're going to go in bathroom and try to rush and shoot all of Gnomes in the back as they're going to be playing off these barbs for the storefront. So let's see if Gnomes is able to react in time.
Yeah,
And
I do like that they did bring, this is a 4 barb defense, and I do like that they are going to try to keep them honest here. We did see Coop with that flank earlier, which he just pushed green and gave him a little bit more room for the YY to kind of like get control over the map. So we'll see if this proves a little bit better. I do like the positioning here for the defender this time as well. As the ball goes out, they push in, Kato gets dropped right away. That crossfire from boxing, Kaishin is Coop now replying there as Sleep is now working around, just takes out Coop as man, Sleep just did work there with the shotgun. I didn't really want to say anything because he literally popped. A lot of the action was happening right here off a freezer, but Sleep just quietly off that backside green just drops 2 and then flanks in from the side.
Yeah, he just silenced Jet.
Yeah.
He's like, no, Jet, stop.
I mean, that ended up just being put down pretty quick there on that entry.
Yeah, Kishin with that knack, it's that penetration and just that fire rate is just obliterated YY's health down to practically nothing. So when they actually started taking gunfights, they already had really low health, so they just weren't able to, they were all, even though they're all stacked on top of each other, it's just taking all that damage. Just not really good, It's not you really lose your attacker health bonus, and it's tough to win gunfights after that. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100% on that for sure. Well, that brings us to Ghost Saga here on this dome map. Much more wide open. We do know that the mop is down for Gnomes as we kind of come into this long-range map. That would be a little bit of a concern for me, but I believe, I'm not sure if Saber is currently out. I don't know if they brought it last map. I don't think they did, but...
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they brought out Saber.
Has been 2 charges as well, so they still have a wall charge, if I'm not mistaken, which still gives them pretty much any option here for either pushing pit or jungle as well.
Looks like they're going to be trying this base and wall charging into pit here. And I do like this plan. It kind of bypasses this observation and a barb that may be here. You throw a flash here, and then you can always use that one player to swing wide while the rest of you guys go like this. And that guarantees, these 2 players in jungle are going to be playing this jungle side, so they're going to be trying to wallbang, even if or not even wallbang, just shoot in this general direction. So, don't know. Are they taking out the auto here? They're not taking out the auto here.
No.
And Jet is going to have the Saber.
So Saber, yeah. So they did keep Saber for that last round. What would you think about, like, since we're on the last round, using that wall charge and just blow jungle and then not really put a lot of pressure there, but leaving that as, like, the... just hang out there as somebody could rotate in here, right? It would dedicate a defender needing to actually watch that door.
It's not a bad idea, especially if you're gonna push this jungle side. But it looks like they just want to go straight for bomb, and I think this wall charge is a better idea because it's just gonna give you straight access to bomb. You know, and in this situation, it's forcing you to win your gunfights. Whoever's on this door is gonna be forced to cover and win gunfights.
As we see that smoke go down, we see a little bit of fire traded, but no real damage. As we first come in, and Kishin is dropped right away by Tommy. As the fight starts going out in this pit, Ghetto gets box in reply as he's taken out. There's a real bloodbath going on in here. It's down to sleep and index already as Merchant is taken out by a roach on that backside as well. As we see them start pushing in through this pit area. Index full flash, but is able to make it out. Has a barb still on him too, which is just disappointing because they haven't used that. Wall charge goes out. Roach picks him up. As it's all down to sleep on this really bad angle, and Ghetto finally just puts an exclamation point on that. Man, the Gnomes just not putting up much of a fight here to kind of stop this. They're kind of getting a tit-for-tat sort of fight. Is they'll kill a guy and then trade, but then they're getting picked from weird angles or from a distance, and then it's putting them really far behind.
That was great for Index to rotate here. It's really a safe spot, but if you look through the observation windows, you can see that wall charge is right there, and I don't think he had the time to look, you know, especially when you have Ghetto and Jet kind of rushing you a little bit, and not to mention the rest of YY following, so he's trying to cover that angle, and he's just going to go down to that. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happens to the other guys in jungle. Like you said, they got picked off. There's no need to really be peeking, especially when you know they have a saver. There's no need to be peeking onto base. Just holding your angles and just or not even holding angles, just stay hidden until YY starts making their play, and then you just communicate when to all peek together. You know.
Yeah, I also feel like the angles that they took were not sharp enough to make the attackers have to decide where they were.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of coalesced in sort of like a V pattern, which makes it so you can pick targets anywhere in that line of fire instead of having to do heavy 90-degree swings. Or even, you know, as Rev calls them, the 180s, you know, where you have to go from one side of the room to the other. Those are like the strongest crosses you can have, obviously. But like if you're only bundled up in a high-low formation, but still in that, you know, just small 45 view window, and an attacker can see you pop out in one spot or another, it's easy for them to get their crosshair on you very quickly. And I feel like that kind of happened there, especially in that open area on Dome.
Yeah, we're back on this factory, and it looks like we're gonna see the same lights play from Gnomes, but YY says, "Yeah, we're gonna kick bar this though this time." So we didn't do that door charge. Be interesting. So it's just see how Gnomes reacts, you know.
Well, like if you see a kick barb like that, I mean, you always have it in the back of your mind. If you've already got that utility, you might as well use it. You can either save it or use it, but I would prefer using it, right? At that point, run down to dock, right? The person with the bomb and clacker needs to just hightail it down that way. You've already got, you know, a frag grenade, so you can put pressure in on it, right? So, I feel like this kick barb doesn't do that much, but then possibly, unless they play off of it really strong, it's not going to get them very much. Besides the surprise factor.
If I was Gnomes, the correct thing here to do would be switch this. Instead, use the grenade on this barb, and then put the door charge on the office door. That's the correct reaction here. Boxy's already seen it. I mean Boxy, 6-side has already seen it, so. And there you go.
Yeah, frag goes out, clears the wire, so now they still have access into server farm, and they saved their explosives. So, you know, send somebody down into. You can also do this as well. So if they've barbed office, right, which would be your other concern, which the smoke goes out, but Coop already gets a pickup. As he gets another one through the smoke, I don't know if that did not cover him, or if he's just taking lucky shots. And I think it's the latter on that. So he picks up 2 just by lining it up and guessing when they're coming in. It's down to Merchant and Index with box off the backside. Finally blows it as the molly comes out, and now it's kind of in this predictable formation. Lights are out right now, but I mean the damage has already been done. Merchant now kind of working his way around Coop and or Jet and Ghetto up off of that storage too, just waiting to get the flank in as they've now taken office. But Tommy on that, once again, that hard 90-degree swing with Roach, kind of giving him support off the side. Jet waiting patiently with Ghetto now rotating back. They're starting to come in through that backside of the server farm.
Oh boy.
Flash goes out as they start pushing in, but they don't have any idea. Oh, Boxy finally finds Roach. Jet finally with the rotation as Index is on the bomb. Boxy needs to be giving him assistance, but Index having to do all the work right now as Box goes down. As Ghetto kind of flanks in through the bomb position and Index finally taken out. 3 wolves kind of circled in on the lone position. I really wish Box would have just backed off there and given the long range support so that all Index would have to worry about is anybody coming off this backside flank and then position himself on the interior of bomb. I think they could have taken that with 2-man, Index being already on that bomb.
Yeah, or he could have just said, "I'm gonna save this." That too. But those 2 players that went down early in the server farm were I think it was a big misplay by those 2 players. And also because they yes, the smoke is down. Yes, you're gonna have cover, but you're still gonna Coop who's shooting through with like an Igmar, right? He's still gonna have hit markers. He's still gonna be able to trace you through the smoke. So running up, taking a long way to get to try to run away from the bullets. You have to run at least like half like this whole freezer length to get away from that bullets. When instead you just go right and you go up the stairs. As soon as you get in, you have immediate cover. You can get up the stairs and be above, and none of the bullets will be able to hit you. You know, it's just if they did that instead, those 2 players would have been alive that round, and it wouldn't have been a 3v5 before more contact was made.
Oh, definitely.
So, but yeah. Now we're on to back on the C store, and we're gonna see the wall charge play instead of the bathroom play. And like you said, they took lights last round, so they lost their NVGs.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna have a saber here either to cover the storefront. So it's gonna be my guess here is if they're gonna blow this storefront, yeah, that's fine. But I think you should also send somebody office to pinch this arcade. And put some damage into Teller here, so that way, if you want, you can go into Teller, because this freezer isn't really going to see anything up until this point here. It really can't. I mean, yeah, you can kind of get a good angle from back in here, but if you just have somebody with a black tar already pre-watching that angle, you'll win that gunfight. Looks like they're actually going to blow the storage here. It's interesting because they're not going to try for lights. So, I mean, if you're going to blow the storage, why blow the storefront?
Well,
why not try to go in the
I think they're. Right,
like
but
this.
their plan is just to go green in the next map. They've already seen what Dome is, and they feel like that's a strong green entry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm betting what they're saying is, okay, well, we used our explosive first round, we can use it second and not be punished by going green. But I think they did have storefront open there for a moment, which I think puts a little bit of a, concern for the attackers as the Gnomes begin to approach this.
Back when you asked that question on the dome when you blow that red door, I think that's a better plan than just all going. But we'll see how it goes.
Molly goes out. Flash is out, but there's no defenders in the storefront as Ghetto starts laying some damage in on Shin. As Ghetto finally picks him up off that backside as well. Merchant blowing that storage. Now Tommy just waiting with that auto shotguns could do a lot of damage to Merchant. I don't know if he'll get the swing if he can get out into storefront. Merchant now moving on up. Ghetto now giving a trade as all the attackers are kind of hemmed in this corner. Ghetto being a real sore spot here on that Teller position. Smoke goes out. I don't know why they don't try to smoke Ghetto as they move up. Kinda gets Roach and Coop. Oh, here comes Tommy and does a lot of damage between Box and Merchant. This Jet now spills out with that knack and picks up one. Index, the last man standing in this corner. But I mean, they're all down and he is the only man up currently. As the knack goes out, he trades where it gets Index, or gets Coop. As Index now in a 3v1 situation, the defenders just have to play a little bit patiently because they have him pretty much surrounded. As long as they don't try to peek too hard. Index is not very hurt though, and Ghetto is pretty wounded. So there's the good crossfire between all 3. Line up. The Index had nowhere to go.
What could have Gnomes done better there? Well, you throw a smoke right here. there's no angle really they can contest you besides Teller. You got all 3 players bogged. All 4 players were bogged right here. You lost 2 people. Well, not 2 people. You lost 1, but the rest of them all got lit up. You just throw a smoke there, and you have somebody run a shotgun, and you flash through the Teller hole. And that person can put pressure also through the Teller hole as you have 2 people go in with a shotgun and clear Teller. You know, and that you take out Ghetto,
Yeah.
and that Ghetto was really the one that was scaring them the whole time. Even as Index was in that 1v3 situation, actually 1v4 after he was able to take down, I believe it was Coop with the knack. He was still, you know, Ghetto was still constantly putting bullets downrange in Index's direction. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that makes it so hard too. That's why I was talking about this, like having a point of pressure. Ghetto was that point of pressure, right? He's in Teller. It's and they know they're going to go that green. It still does look like they're setting up for to have maximum defense though, which looks pretty cool here.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, using that door charge on that C-store where Merchant came in, you know, he got swung by the auto, and he really couldn't do much. I mean, yeah, he was trying to help them out and keep Ghetto from swinging on them, but that's not really the position to do it. Like I was saying, you want to be aggressive. That's why I was saying you could split green and do the storefront blow, and then split green and get an arcade, and then you could put pressure from onto Teller from behind, or you can use that also to flood out of arcade because they did have it barred, but still, a couple good flashes can get you through that. Be a lot more useful to have this door charge now because, like what you pointed out, this is good to open up. It gives you angles onto jungle. You can see into observation, and you can also see up here and pretty much also water. And you also get like this little angle where you can see if somebody's ratting here in water. Instead, now you have to put all 5 players beach, and you have to try to all funnel through this while they're gonna have observation control here. They can have somebody stand right here and look all here. They can have somebody rat here. They can have people here and here, and they won't have to worry about their back. You know, it's just I think
Yeah.
just this red door, you know, just gives you so much more of an opportunity to win around. And even if they didn't want to do this jungle, they could literally just door charge here, and then I believe they still have frag grenade, and they could frag this pit. It just opens up a lot more options to do instead of double blowing on that C store.
Yeah, I
So
would just to reflect on that C store too. Is Merchant had that blown, and then him and Boxy both combined together. I still don't know why nobody sat and watched that door flank, right? Like that was the folly. Is they had control of the room. There's 2 doors. One leads to the main room. Boxy and both Merchant then tried to rotate through it. It's like everybody stopped looking at the other side door. It's like you have to dedicate somebody to that rotation because you know they're on the other side of there, right? Like you have to know that there's somebody probably waiting to swing you in that doorway. So because you already had storefront control and Ghetto's calling out where they are. So you know, he's like, I took down one and there's 3 others here or 2 others here in the front. And so like they have the information.
yeah. So here we go, coming on the beach.
Yeah. Yep. No contact here on the beach, which surprises me. You would think that they would have put a little bit more in the front to start doing the damage. Jet takes the shot, does hit. So we already have one of the attackers is wounded already. Merchant does take out Coop, though, on that far side by power as they start moving in towards Pit. And they pick up a second one as Jet tries to get another peek. Again, that funneled angle is, for attackers, is pretty clean. Is not enough angle. As they start working their way through with these black tars, so much damage. Is finally Roach and Tommy start laying out some damage. as the attackers start moving up through this jungle. Frag goes out to clear the barb, and does. As they start approaching. Kashin on that low side, too, trying to get an angle, but Merchant finally going down here from Tommy on that long angle. Molly goes out, Index moving his way up. As you see Boxy on that backside, just make sure that rotation is there. Roach starting to lay out some damage in that. And you have Ghetto, Roach, and Tommy just holding that room. There is only one smoke grenade left, too. There is no utility, except for Box, who has one flash, I believe, who is going to probably use it now. He's getting on the low side, making sure that they're stacked up before they go in, and the molly goes out, and the flash it rings, but it's already stopped. It was perfectly timed, and now there's no utility left. Another molly with 16 seconds left. They do pick up Roach here, but that molly's gonna burn for a while. Boxy going down as they all start having to walk in. Index now in low side water. It's 19 seconds, and that's it. The double mollies hold the attackers at bay. They could not get in. They waited too long, and it wasted the flash.
Oh, that was well played by, you know, why they were down to 3 players, and they were still able to clutch it by just holding observation. You know, just being able to see wherever those attackers are really allows them to just, you know, slow the game down and not allow the attackers just to W key them. You know, especially using, like you said, using those mollies. And they were able to get they weren't able to get any picks until late game, but they were able to do a lot of damage from observation. Like Jet, he was abusing that sniper. You know, I do know he connected with I think it was maybe Merchant or Kishin or something like that, and get him down to half. And then it was either Merchant or Kishin. Another one, whoever didn't take the mop shot was also down because I believe it was Roach lit him up quite a bit when they took a gunfight. Fighting observation earlier on in that round, but now we're on to a new tile set, onto Operation Nimble Galahad, and yeah, this is we've seen this bank before. A lot of people like to blow lobby and W key for button or blow loans. W key for button also, and usually there's always somewhat of a split that comes into manager, where they send somebody manager to come through this window and put some pressure through the security door from accounting. Get right into vault. So yeah, and usually you'll see an auto in the bathroom here. So I went with the new title set. I wonder, maybe, who knows, they might take a tub, so we may stick somebody with a tub in there, considering how good the tub is now. So
this is gonna be such a strong defense. I think, I mean, if they play this right, they can hold this button pretty well. It's just how fast are they able to clean that up. This is going to be a double charge play, too, from what it looks like.
yeah, defenders take 4 barbs as well. You know, a lot of utility to be used by both teams here. So this wall play obviously is going to be great. So if they barb this vault, it's going to get that barb that's in the vault. So they can just send 2 flash, like they don't even need to send 2. Just send 1 flash in, and you're pretty much at vault control. Right off that wall charge button. But the main challenge, like you said, is hitting this button, playing against, I believe there's going to be 3 barbs in this hallway. Yeah, 3 barbs in this hallway alone that you're going to have to push through. And do they even have a frag? No, they don't. So they're going to have to really hope that they're flash. They're going to have to like consecutively flash and work really well here.
Yeah, that flash game is going to have to be definitely on point. It is going to be a 2 barb setup. I think this second barb was like the fallback point if they needed it. Depending on where they were coming from for button. But yeah, Tommy now kind of just laying out some damage. Merchant takes a couple of shots there as he gets the doors rotated in his direction as they push up. Ghetto swings on Sleep and drops him right away. Tommy still in Jet now has joined in on the security side. Merchant's just trying to hold them at bay, messing with the doors with each other, trying to see if one of them will fall in line. Is that they are up to the butt now? Coop now trying to get out with the shotgun, does not get it. The defenders now are able to shuffle into the bomb room as they now shift through. You have Ghetto, Jet, and Tommy. Hopefully they have that wall charge now, as I do believe it's getting brought in currently. Yep. They had it outside. As now they start moving in towards this. And it does go down, and I don't think they realize, oh, Jet almost gets killed. As now they don't have to worry about the man traps. They push in, and it's down to Ghetto as Merchant just swings in cleans them all up. Boxy in
Yeah.
reply, and Kishin now, man, they did not see that coming. They're like, they got to get through these man traps. There's no way they're going to get through us. We got this backside covered, and that wall charge just absolutely bamboozles them.
Yeah, all I can say is those 3 players here, that's fine. Just, you know, you get flashed, you're done. Roach was playing this Loans. If he hears the guy rotate out that barb, then why don't you go and hit button, a vault, close it, force them to retake button again, you know?
Yeah, that wastes a lot of time, too,
I think
definitely.
that's also, I think that's also one of the key things. Even if you're playing that button side, right? You don't have to hold the button the whole time. You can literally let them get the button, and then, they have button control. Woohoo, the vault's open, but you're right there. And so if someone leaves, it kind of forces an attacker to post somebody up there to watch the button, so that, especially when you have that manpower, you have to have somebody watch that button, so they, don't close the vault on you, and then that's at least 30 seconds off the clock for everybody to at least send one person back to go open the button and say he dies, and then that's pretty much the round, you know. So it really, if you're able to re-get vault at some point during that match, it really kind of makes defender win, really forces defender win here. But anyways, moving on to this kill house operation, Asgard Rising. You've seen this map a couple times. The main 2 choke points come down to this kitchen, this general kitchen, and then this breezeway for control. Nobody's really gonna blow this hallway. It's a little silly.
Yeah, both those hallways are very dangerous, in my opinion.
This hallway gives you a lot of wall bangs. So, and like Jet has this one I'm assuming this will be emergency barb. You know, you can literally just wall bang the heck out of it if somebody is trying to kick this door or come down here, you know. And then so it seems like the way to play this is to put a lot of pressure on checkpoint. You have somebody here, somebody playing this door, so that way it can kind of wall bang here and here, and then you have somebody brick house, so they can shoot through the windows here or wall bang through the windows, and they can also kind of play behind bar if they have to. So that's what we're gonna see from Tommy and Ghetto, and then we're gonna have Jet kind of play the back, and then we'll see what happens when Roach spawns in.
Yeah, seeming like they're, and it will also depend on how fast they're able to rotate, but YY is so good at setting up those defenses really quickly, so we'll see once they know that they're going on the screen, and Boxy now kind of swinging on this. I always worry when the Saber is in the front, as smoke does go out, but man, smoking on this normally does not feel good. Is now all of the defenders except for 2 now off of this doorway. Frag goes in, does clear wire. Alright. And there's the first molly. As Tommy now swings out, picks up Shin. And now it's all down to, it's 4v5. As now Tommy's still laying out more fire through that door. Oh god, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Merchant Index. Oh, Jet gets picked up though. Tries to get him with that. Oh, and the flashes go in, and Roach is on the door, but he doesn't get checked. Okay, Sleep finally turns around. Now Tommy is going to get him in the back, though. It's those 180 shots. As, man, nobody checked the side there. All right, well, now we're down to 2. As Merchant, oh, yes. And now it's into the 2v2. I was going to say, I think Tommy's going to pick up Merchant here.
Yeah, Merchant gets a little ahead of his teammate, not waiting for Six-Sided to come over and support him.
Or Boxy, right? Like, and they have no utility to work with, and there are barbed wires everywhere. And there's 2 mollies once again, so it's like there's not a lot you can really do here.
Yeah, really, the only thing is Six-Side needs to bait index, right? Don't be kicking doors like that, and just bait index and try to clutch the round. That's really all you can do, or save.
Oh, yeah, except you don't peek the Saber. That's like rule number 1. And Coop's playing way back, and I know he's got knack, but oh man, okay, he does pick him up. Jeez.
If Six-Side can get the bomb here, he might win.
Okay, Molly. Oh no, he just needs to defuse. Coop can't get in. He's modeling himself off. He's got to wait. All right, and the Molly should dissipate now. It's Coop now. Yeah, it's down to 60. It's 5 seconds left though. Oh, he gets it with the Saber. Oh my gosh, at close range, the knack just going off. Coop actually fumbling there with the Molly, tried to get it further in, but now it blocked him off, so it gave Boxy a chance.
Yeah, that was great. Well, all bangs by Coop, but six-sided, using his big brain, able to get behind the bomb and with the silent walks, and yeah, he's able to clutch the round. Here you go, saber moment. So
Gnomes pick up another one. I mean, it's looking a little bit cleaner now. It took them a game last time to kind of wake up, so hopefully that happens a little bit sooner in this series.
yeah, 5-3 now. I think slowly Gnomes is starting to creep back up.
I do have to say YY kind of handed it to them a little bit there. There was some
Mm-hmm.
some people getting picked and doing some weird stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, we're 2v3, and then it's like, oh well, Merchant pushed up too far and got killed, but okay, it's a 2v2 now, and now I'm gonna swing him and get a kill, and then it's like, oh, there's a saber here, and he blew my face off, and then Coop's playing so far away with Knack is able to pick up index, but then flubs Molly, and all of a sudden you're like in a dire strait where you have to charge the attacker. And yeah, he's got saber and you have knack, but still, I mean, like, it is a fast firing weapon. So if you're good enough with it, with the alt brace fire, then you can still drop someone pretty quick.
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's just that your health pool. What's your health pool look like when you have that knack? The two players' health pool, and six-sided had pretty much almost full health, and Coop did not. So he's gonna die to that saber with one bullet. But little update on the wasted potential versus kickflip game. It's currently 5-2 in favor of kickflip. And yeah, we're on this factory. Looks like we're gonna see the generic door charge for fan, and try to 5-stack rush here. They do have a frag for so they're gonna split push this, do a 2-3. Okay, so they're gonna send somebody green, some players green to try to pinch anybody else playing this side of pipe works, and these guys that blow the fan are probably gonna have to take this a little slow. You don't want to rush in and get picked off before your teammates, before the strong push does really anything effective, pushing the server farm. So yeah, you can have Jet with the mop back here in office. So if anybody's trying to do some funny stuff on this server farm, entrance, you better expect Jet to be peeking them from dock at some point. So, but Six-Sided does have the saber. So,
Yeah, we saw him put that to good use in that last round. Is Tommy now watching this? Oh, they used the door charge to get in off of the screen. All right.
oh, interesting.
That was kind of smart. I like it. I think they're gonna try to get into fan to like free shoot it from the backside to allow six-sided in. So that way they can start working their way in. A good molly goes out though. Wow, what a long throw that was. Does a good amount of damage. They spill in. Tommy goes down. That should give them. Well, they got to be real careful here as Merchant pushes with absolute disregard for his own life to be able to get over to where six-sided is. As Shin actually drops two on that backside from up top. Ghetto now trying to swing on Merchant, but does not take the fight. It's all down to Jet up there at the top, and he's got the mop can do work. He's got to land every shot here. Oh, the frag goes up into office. Oh my goodness, Jet on a sliver of life as he finally gets dropped. So clean here from the Gnomes.
Yeah, that molly. If it landed a little too far deep, it was a risky molly, and it wasn't able to slow down the attackers, and they were basically able to get Tommy. And then after that, they were just all together. You have everybody together fighting in this this kind of like corridor, and and YY doesn't have the best cover compared to the attackers with their health pool, and the attackers have the high ground. So they're really gonna expect them to win those gunfights, and that's what the attackers did. So but we're gonna see a side swap here, so we're gonna see what is YY's plan on this. What do they want to do here? You can either copy them and do the exact same thing, which Domes did, which was not a bad plan. But you could also, I've seen YY do, is you blow loans, you send some green, and I think Ghetto's talking about that right now. Nope, it's his entrance blow. Yeah, he wants to do that. But you could, like I said earlier, you could still pinch it with green if they don't want to use the wall charge and save that economy. They could still pinch green here and still get a lot of good, wall bangs and security. All it really takes is two good flashes. You can flash one from outside here, and then the other one just kind of deep.
Yeah. I know that they're also putting this barbed wire here, but I'd prefer seeing this actually on the long angle, right? Like, it lets you be able to rotate through Teller and possibly Bathroom, right? Like, I don't know. I get you're like trying to block both of these rooms, but like
Sorry,
if you're
what bar are
playing
we talking about? I'm
oh the
sorry.
one here up here in North Hall. They've
Okay,
actually
here.
moved it now, which I actually prefer this. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
I want you to be able to swing if you're one of the defenders, right, through either one of these rooms. So it's like it's better to put the barb up here, I think. You know, it's like you're actually hindering yourself if you have somebody that's gonna like shotgun bathroom, right?
Here, not good barb. Here, okay, and here,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. These barbs are much better. I like this a lot better. So it looks like it's just gonna be this entrance though. Push for button. These barbs are gonna cause a lot of havoc here though, so oh, are they
Yeah.
going to dedicate? They're dedicating. Oh no, are they just going to put Barb, or are they? Oh, Merchant going
Looks
to
like
be
they're gonna stick
the
Merchant in
yeah,
there. I actually
Merchant getting
don't
an
think this is
answer.
a bad idea to have Vault open. Merchant can get a
Yeah,
really
some
nice
shots
angle.
off prior.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And then that kind of like, it kind of makes YY go, oh no, what do we do here? You have to go get button control regardless, so you still have to contest.
Yeah, I would have liked them to hold that open just a little bit longer, but you know, it is what it is. As we see Roach and Coop actually pushing this green as well, so it's only a 3-man push on this. They do get the double barbed wires down as they fall back. Shin is now kind of watching Ghetto and the team giving us some calls, is just kind of watching them. And here comes the security door play as they lay out the frags. It clears both wire. Oh man, what a good
Wow.
frag. Wow, you don't see that very often. Sometimes you'll see it get one, but it got both of them. As Tommy now getting some shots in through that door, as Shin trying to keep them at bay at the security point. Or they're just having fun. I don't know what's going on here. Just enjoying this. Oh, they pick him up. Jet finally works his way in, as now they have complete control over bomb room. Now it's down to that team. Tommy can have pressure from the other side now too. So the defenders find themselves now pinched in between all 5 attackers. As Sleep goes down on the corner, it's down to Index and Box. They are in trouble right now as Coop and Roach start pushing their way in. Index now tries to challenge as he steps forward, but doesn't have enough. Boxy tries to follow him up, and they are all down. It is now down to Merchant. No, that early Molly. No, there's nobody there.
Yeah, I don't think Merchant's gonna be able to stop it here.
Oh, he picks up 1. All right, now it's down to a 1v3 though. There is no utility left though, so he has the chance. Another good Molly though. Okay, does a little bit of damage. Picks up a 2nd. Picks up a 3rd. Merchant on the last man. Can he hold it? No more mollies though. It's into the gunfight. It's him and Ghetto. Oh, and he picks up the last man. What? Oh my gosh, he's a 1-man army.
They all have like full HP. Merchant just said, "I'm gonna swing with an AK," and just like, no.
He cuts down every man. Oh my gosh. We were lampooning him for throwing the molly early, but he didn't need it.
Yeah, he said, "I'll make up for it with my bullets."
Absolutely savage as he picks up the 4K on the bomb room. Last man versus the enemy team at almost full health.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was crazy. That was a really good job by Merchant, really clutching that round out. And he was able to pick up a saber too. Wow. So now this really puts YY in a tough situation. What are you gonna do here? You're gonna probably it looks like they're talking about this door charge to just get in the club. I think but they're already talking about this. I was gonna say I think this Paul play is a really bad idea, but I don't think Gnomes would ever see it coming. just send it, Nah, it looks like you're gonna see the club and checkpoint push. We're gonna see a pinch here. Not too bad because you saw Tommy was able to do a lot of damage from this club when he was in here with the AK. So you send somebody here, you can really wipe out anybody else that's playing club. It forces these guys that are playing bottom side rotate into brick house and try to rotate back through breezeway. But here's the wall charge that possibly might be talked about by both teams right now. Actually, being talking about is this wall charge, try to get into breezeway. That now I do think that's a really good wall charge. It gets you in for free. I mean not for free, but you get pretty much bypass everything on this side of the map, and you can pretty much get into office. Yes, you got to be careful though that somebody doesn't rotate to these windows and try to play you here aggressively like that. But I think this is gonna be a tough map for YY here. It's just a lot of
Yeah,
angles
there's
to
just
be
a lot
watching.
of these long hallways, and that normally is very tough for attackers to deal with, right? Like,
Yeah.
especially when you have somebody that can ambush you anywhere along those hallways, makes it really difficult to really push that. Yeah, I was hoping for a secondary barbed wire. You know, they're gonna try to stuff this green, but depending on how this goes, oh boy, Index. Oh, I think he realizes it. He's here with the molly. He's ready. So that defense is going to be almost required. Much better smoke on this checkpoint, too. See, that's what needed to happen last time. Six side now pushes up on Ghetto. I think they're getting a little bit distracted here, though, because there's like... You realize, hey, there's only a couple of people shooting here. There's not like 5. Hopefully Index is able to rotate back and get that molly out just to hold. There goes the blow as they pick up Merchant right off the start. It's 3-man, and Index is completely blind. He goes down immediately. As now Tommy and Ghetto push in through that barb, they have used nothing and killed everybody.
And Sleep
As
is
Tommy
dead by
finally
the
goes down to the
so.
backside, we get that double on the knack, but they all have bomb control now. And Shin now pushing up on them. Oh my gosh, he's gonna get slaughtered. He's got to push through his own barbed wire. Box has a frag though. Does he dunk it? He gets one, but it can't pick up the other one, and that's the round. But, man, if that would have gone into the right position, it could have killed everybody. Oh, that frag. Was, amazing. Okay, Box might be able to get another pick. No, drops him right at the end.
Sleep broke the window and died to the UAV, so that was a man down before. And they even, as soon as they were walking into the map, and like you were saying, you're only hearing 2 AP shooting right now. So where's the rest of YY? And then, as you say that, the rest of YY blows the red door and rushes and Index gets completely flashed with the flash landing right at his feet, so he's dead. And yeah,
I liked it when he was watching the door with the molly. It was perfect. Just chill.
Yeah,
just hang out. Watch the festivities. Have faith that the rest of your team is gonna hold. You have one job.
Great late blow by YY there.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then it came down to 6-sided, and I think it might have been Kishin. And you're retaking point with just YY just W keyed right onto bomb. You have bomb control, and it's basically what, a 5v2 at that point. Yeah, it's a little, and you're retaking bomb through one of those narrow corridors that you were talking about. Not looking too well, and they had to run through a barb. So
yeah. Yeah, well, that's the crazy part is Shin had. I mean, he was up ahead and he's pushing that barb. I don't know why. Like, suddenly, 6-sided or Box ends up going, hey, I got a frag. You can clear that barb now. So I think there was just a little bit of a, oh my god, they're on the bomb. I need to get back there. And the communication just completely just went out the window at that point.
They're like, oh shit. Yeah. But yeah, now we're on to the match point here. It's either going to determine the tie or a win for YY here. Gnomes has a lot of their utilities left, so they're going to be using everything they have left. Flares, barbs, mollies, the mop, and also
look
the
at their
saber.
gun setup too. It is if I were YY, I'd be really scared walking into this.
A lot of DPS guns, AK and Igmar, scary. And for YY they have a couple APs and a black tar too.
yeah.
And a flash of each of them. Their economy is not as good looking as.
Oh, this is gonna be absolutely.
They do have NVGs, but then again, NVGs is an office, and they have no charge.
This is gonna hurt right here.
Oh, they do have a wall charge.
Gets dropped immediately, and now they've got it pinned down too, because Shin has that saber. No, they decide to back off. Man, they could have. Okay, there's the smoke. You should have used that earlier.
Why might be the more experienced team?
Sleep now even laying down a full set of fire. I would like to have seen 2 people just trading fire right there. You've got 2 Igmars, so like having one person lay out the fire and then a second would have been even better, just to hold them at that door even longer. Shin trying to, oh, he gets dropped. Oh no. Okay, that's Saber down already. They're trying to take these real pick angles. Okay, finally Sleep picks up Jet, but man, gotta be careful. They're trying to like do 1v1 trades versus a team. I like the initial pick. They're trying to get these angles. Wall charge goes out on that pipe works, but I mean, man, you're picking into a lot of these long range weapons. Six-sided might find himself in a little bit of trouble here as Ghetto now slowly moving up to that fan. Another flash at close range. I don't know if that was flubbed off the start. Now Tommy, more flashes. Can Ghetto get a pick here? I don't know if he's going to see it. As Roach goes down as he pushes in, Tommy finally drops in, but there's a lot of damage. Yes, he does. Ghetto picks him up from behind. It's like, man, okay, Tommy now picked up from Merchant, and now he's in a crossfire as he starts laying in. Yes, and picks it up from the backside, and we hit the tie. Man, what a defense. And they brought all the heavy hitting weapons there, and it paid off.
Yeah, well, that was a crazy game one. You know, with YY had pretty much the lead the whole game. I think their lead extended to a 5-2, and then Gnomes was able to bring it back and tie it at 6-6. You know,
All right.
that's a great. That was a great game.
Yeah, guaranteed to go to a game 3, but man, Yakuza jumped out to that heavy lead, and we're like, oh man, where Gnome's gonna be able to do anything, and they end up clawing it back for the tie.
Yeah, Gnomes struggled in the beginning. They usually, I'll say that one thing. If you go ahead and look at all the games Gnomes has played recently in the last few weeks, even in the Swiss round robin, they always struggle in the first like 5 rounds. But then usually after that, it's like, oh, we're playing it official. Let's pay attention, and then they start winning. So, I think we're in for a good game here. But unfortunately, I won't be around for that because I gotta go, and I think Akaza just crashed. So I think the stream's down now.
Yeah, right. We'll be right back.
No, Akaza is here.
Yeah.
No. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Then we're still up. All right, cool. Then I guess we'll throw it over to a quick break here. We saw YY take a commanding lead at the start, but Gnomes clawed back. Some really good plays, some really good defenses, some really outside of the box thinking propelled them up into being able to tie this game between the two. So I believe we'll take it over to a quick break, and we'll see you in the next one. We will be at least at the minimum going to a game 3. And here we are back in our game of Gnomes versus Yakuza. I'm now joined by our fantastic doing everything, casting video, behind the scenes, all the stuff. He is the man with in the controls, Akaza.
Hello. Forgot to unmute myself there.
Wonderful. Well, and we saw Yakuza go up huge. It was like 5-2, I think, at one point. And we were just thinking, okay, well, they'll just put a pin in this, and Gnomes will have to start figuring things out. And it turns out Gnomes ends up swinging almost every round after that, and getting it into a tie right at the end. So we find ourselves coming into this game number 2, knowing that we're going to go long now, right? In your mind, is it better to have the game get tied right away, and now know that you're going to go into this as a 3 game, or is it better to be like, oh, later we like smash the first game and then it gets tied? Like momentum wise, how does that feel to you?
I don't know. I feel like both teams are relieved for it to be a tie because like they know they aren't losing. But I guess in the case of Yakuza, since they hit 6 first, it feels a little bit demoralizing that they could have won that game out, but Gnomes brought it back to 6-6. I don't know. I feel like when people know that it's going to be guaranteed a 3 match or 3 map or 3 games, it's going to be like a sort of a grown situation where like, oh, I got to stay here for another 2 hours or something.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is like, do you now have to? Does it change your thinking because you're like, now we have to go out for the long game, right? If you win the first game, you're like, we could put an end in this, right? So you play a little bit differently. If going in with a 3-rounder and you know that you have to go for 2 more games, does it make you play like a little bit more safe? Right? Because like suddenly you're having to make like a plan. You're like, man, we got to grind out for another, a whole nother set after this, right? So trying to keep yourself mentally on target. Did that ever come into the equation, or does that just never become a factor, really?
I don't know. I've never been in that situation like many times myself. Because if you're tying the first, I mean, how many ties have there been on the first match of a best of three. I'm not sure.
Not many. I would say normally a team will go up and then the next game will be a tie, typically. And then we'll see other things happen in the later rounds. But yeah, this is kind of like I would say one of the first like tie off the initial that we've seen in a while. And as we do get into this game here, we are here on Union Empire. It is a kill house. Long breezeway opens up with it is wall chargeable. I'm surprised no teams have really been utilizing any of the fencing to breach in with the wall charge. And for new players, that is one of the things on this map. Most exterior walls are not chargeable except for fencing. If you see a fence, you normally can go in, or the shutters on C-Store. So there are some unique times when you can actually blow in through certain walls.
I mean, personally, I don't think anyone wants to do the wall charge breezeway because there are other maps like C-Store and like possibly like Dome or I mean Bank double charges where wall charge might be a little bit better, especially when we saw that last game. They used that wall charge straight into security into vault, and Gnomes were able to win that out pretty nicely there. But breezeway wall charge is not that great here. I feel like because you have this red door here next to lockers. It's the same thing as getting the breezeway control basically. Like you just breach, go straight into the breezeway. Not that hard.
Yeah.
Eco-wise, at least.
That's one of those moments where you're like, oh, maybe the door location should be over here, right? So that it's not as clean cut as enter breezeway. Well, that's the same thing as here, right? As we see YY now, wow, early flash on the goal. They were worried about getting sniped right off the start. They had that happen last time as they start pushing in. YY smokes off this reception though, which puts Six-Sided on that one in the smoke now, just holding that corner. If Index chills, man, there is so much wall banging going on in this map. The walls are penable by and pretty lightly by most weapons, so Index might have taken a shot there or two, but it is just all-out warfare here in the reception area. And finally they push in. Grenade goes out and clears this long haul. Merchant now with Sleep. They do get a secondary barb though, which is great. And if Merchant plays this really cool, yeah, he's gonna pick up a lot of kills here. And now Sleep laying out some damage. Yes, that crossfire doing a lot of work. We're down now to only 2 attackers here, and there are a lot of defenders left as they're pushing into this hall, and they have no real way to get in to this kitchen. They have 1 flash left, and so they will need to make it count. There are numerous mollies left as well. I'm surprised that there's no light starting to lurk on the back side here, but as they pick up Coop, yeah, they just cannot get in this room. There's just no way to do it. Yeah, you're gonna have to just wall bang the hell out of that one side. They're looking for more stuff to fight with because I think they started running out of ammo. Shin did get picked out by Tommy on that. They do have this final flash as the molly goes out, so utility used. Index takes another hit though, man. Six-Sided so wounded right now. Index at half. The attacker's both pretty healthy. Sleep is gonna have to do a lot of work as they start working their way in. Is gonna start trying to flank him. Okay, Index picks up 1 and the second. What a swing. Led by Sleep with that knack did the damage, and then it was up to Index to clean it up. And Six-Sided was just, he had to be on support because literally a hair's breadth away from death.
Yeah, you saw there, Yaokuza opted to go for an eco there, and I kind of agree because that kill house seems very hard to take. Even if you went breezeway or that red door near breezeway, you would have to still take that brick house, and then you're funneled into another small choke point into the top of site, which was not that great. But they said eco, yeah.
It's one of those maps where the defenders condense, and it's one of those rooms that it's actually really strong for them to defend. Whereas then sometimes when the defenders get like hemmed into a corner, they have nowhere to go. But like that kitchen has so much stuff that you can hide behind, and that the back room behind it, and that brick house, right? Like also has a lot of cover in it, and it makes it so hard when there's a room with a lot of cover for attackers to be able to push into it compared to like a factory or like a dome where if the defenders get pushed into a corner, sometimes there's not as many things to hide behind, which makes it so that they're just out in the open and die. So
yeah, really very well played by Gnomes there. As we move into the next round onto Bank, I can already see this is a very interesting map. Usually you see long hallways that have like 90-degree turns, but this hallway has multiple turns, and it only takes up a small part of the map. It doesn't like go around the whole map, sort of thing. Especially,
Yeah, yeah. The only weird spot is this teller that like loops back, right? You have this switchback that you have to kind of go through, which can be kind of dangerous. This whole loans is completely open,
yeah.
and the bathroom centered in the middle can be absolutely crazy. There's going to be a lot of if the defenders play it, there's going to be a lot of firefights coming out here, and I think if they play it, they'll play off of this teller. I'm not really happy with this barb placement though. Like if you're gonna guard button, right, like which is really hard to do, especially if they blow this, which is the expectation, just put the barb on the button, right? Or build your little wall here, right? So that way you can kind of like peek in and out without getting close rushed. Um, this means that you just can't transition through here very easily. Um, but I do like that Sleep is playing. Oh, Molly goes a little bit short. Sleep trying to get out of there, does make it out, but is wounded by this attack coming in through here. You see Coop now slowly working his way up here on that second push. So the attacker is now just trying to bait the fact that it's like we blew entrance. We're not going to take this second point. Coop being very quiet, very sneaky. Man, if a frag would just come in here, they'd freaking murder the hell out of a bunch of people too. So we'll see what ends up happening here with. Photon and Coop. Oh, the Molly goes out and holds. But Ghetto now starting to put that pressure. And Jet did go down earlier from Merchant. Molly goes out to delay again. Index now trying to swing. Gets flash, but Merchant with the crossfire picks up another double. Wow. Index doing his job though as Merchant finally gets dropped. As Sleeping Shin now pushing out to the man traps. Get absolutely slaughtered by Ghetto. What are you doing? Oh no, it goes from bad to worse now, as now Box has to drop the sniper and try to funnel in through and attack the attackers on the bomb. Oh no. And Box gets swung, immediately drops. It was so good until it wasn't.
Yeah, that was very interesting. I thought it was very weird. Yakuza, did they? Oh, they did end up blowing that Lone's red door because all four of them were pushing through that entrance. It seemed like Coop was just by himself with a breach charge, but they were able to get there, and they were able to very. I mean, it wasn't working out at getting there. We saw Gnomes getting so many picks right off the bat, and we saw it was a 4v2. But then Gnomes and Tommy, Ghetto and Tommy, they were able to bring it back so well there, especially getting those picks. I get this replay up real quick.
Why would you push him through the man trap? You as the defenders have funneled yourself into one position, and there's an attacker on the other side, and he starts pre-firing you, and you both get cut down. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry. Like, maybe you needed to get out there, but use the other one, right? Like, there's two. You can devote one person per, but to both spill out in the same spot, I disagree with that heartedly. I mean, again, Index and Merchant really set up an amazing cross, right? Merchant got that initial pick on Jet, perfect, right? All of that worked really, really well. And then I don't know what those other two are thinking by running out there. I got to call that out just because that was really boneheaded. You know, you're rushing an attacker with full health, and it's Ghetto, by the way, who is an exceedingly good player. You know, and that's why it's like, and it's Ghetto and Tommy at the end, and it's just like, poor Six ends up having to like ditch the sniper to try to make something happen, right? Like, ugh, yeah. Just not great, not a great look on that one.
The overconfidence that just has to be it. They see that there's two left, they're like, okay, time to get kills. And they just start running straight
Pure freaking hubris. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, like, I can see the idea, but it seems like a bad call, like, rushing an attacker as a defender, right? Even though there's two of you, when you're both on top of each other, it seems bad. Maybe they were thinking, like, hey, if we both take the damage, we'll soak up all of it, and it's like, we have 200 hit points compared to the attacker's 100, or 150, right? But I don't know, man.
Yep. But we're on C-Store. Round's already about to start, but super long storefront. It basically takes up half of the map, and I'm interested to see what happens here as Yakuza trying to get the wall charge going. And will they be able to fight this Gnomes crossfire as Sleep and Shin will be playing in that arcade?
Yeah, here on Minotaur Fang, this C-store, this is a long storefront, like you said. Lots of stuff in here, though, you can hide behind. I really like that, you know? Feels a little bit like American Gladiators, as we see that great Molly, though. Shin does get that cross with Sleep, as they put him down, but Sleep ends up getting picked up in the end. As he swings and gets Ghetto. Oh my gosh. This guy finally waking up a little bit and putting in some work. Oh, that flash, though. He is absolutely destroyed by Coop with that double coming in. Index does pick one up on the backside. They have this bomb completely on lock. It's going to be a hard push. Merchant just waiting. Man, I like his position here, but Index and the rest of them have to be very careful. Lights did go out. Saber is up. Index can no longer peek this with any sorts of comfort. He needs to play safe. They have taken those. Oh, no. Coop has a frag. This is going to be... Is he going to throw it on Index, or is he going to clear the barbed wire? Here is the real question for him. Okay, he's going to clear the wire. All right, I like this plan better, but still, as they move up, they still have one flash, and their box did get picked by Jet. Index now full flash. Merchant does peek, but Index should have his faculties now as he pushes out, but gets killed. It's now up to Merchant. He does have a Molly. It does get thrown out. It will hem them in, but they can continue to defend, and they finally pick up Merchant. Man, all Box had to do was just chill out here and be pressure. I think he ended up opening the door and Jet picked him, which, man, you just gotta chill at that point. You got a dead crossfire and you've got you as the pressure point, and all you have to do literally is stand at the door and do nothing. Right? Because they need to look at you. They don't know when you're gonna push them, and you literally had the perfect triangle: 180 cross. And you're the linchpin, and you go down early. That's not great.
Yeah, we saw Yakuza go straight through that storefront. Did not work out at all, or it did work a little bit, but they ended up getting picked so much. There was only 2 left. We had the sniper Saber and Coop with the AP, and I mean it looked pretty favorable for Gnomes, but they just seemed like they weren't able to coordinate in spots that were able to get traded. Like, Index tuck himself in that corner, but he can't play across with Merchant if he's playing so far back. That was one of the issues there. So I was like, you're giving them a 1vx or 1v2 in this situation where both of them are pushing you, and you don't have a teammate that can really cross off you and trade your body if you do die.
Yeah, 100%. Which we saw earlier, right? With Sleep and Shin.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
in that. Are you talking about in the bank?
No, well, no, that was just earlier at the top,
arcade?
at the far side of arcade, right? Like where one person sacrificed body for points, and they were able to trade out a couple of times and do a lot of damage there, right? Like that was literally, and then a follow-up swing, right? So, it worked really well up on that far side, but then kind of fell apart. On the west, fell apart a little bit on the east.
Yeah, but 2-1 now for Yakuza, and we are in a kill house once again, but this time the sides are switched. And since the new update, I think a lot of people have been saying this game is now very defender sided. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I mean, it's easier to hold angles, which does benefit defenders, but if you're able to use the utility as attackers and take over the objective, I mean, like the issue flips, because the attackers can then hold angles, and you're, as a defender with less health and all of those things, now forced into this. I'm not sure about this barbed wire on reception, unless they're... Yes, okay, they're waiting for the audio of people walking through to try to do some pick damage there, but doesn't actually bore any fruit, as Ghetto now kind of holding that angle. A little bit of chip damage. Okay, so I think the armor got dropped off of 3 as they start working their way in. Shin leading with that shotgun now, getting the doors open. Flashes go out. Photon now trying to get the swing. Picks up 1. Now as they start working their way in, picks up 2, but he finally goes down. Merchant just waiting off that backside. Oh, he's just making sure that there's nobody swinging off the breezeway, but the damage has already been done. There's 2 down. It's 3v4 currently, as we see Ghetto and Coop pushing into this. I almost feel like you have to use the wall charge here, right? Which I think is what they were waiting for. They worked their way in. Charge goes down, kitchen open. Frag goes out. Jet gets out. All right, as now it's 4 men now hemmed up as they try to work their way out. Merchant does have this doorway. Tommy lays down some more damage. Index on a sliver of life. As the crossfires start going out, as your Index, you're just hoping you're not getting crossfired right now. Merchant now have to switch out guns. He's so low on ammo currently. He does have one more flash. They do get a flash in. Jet now goes down. Index now. Oh, man. Ghetto swinging in behind him. Man, there's just too much to happen there. As they swung in, they got the flash out. But the crossfire was just so strong from every angle. And they had the flank. It was just the man advantage there. I can tell you right now that, I mean, even though Jet went down, there's 3 other guys working around in that crossfire. That's what you're talking about with, like, the quote-unquote defender sided. They're not having to run their way into the fire. But I will say that room is just so helpful for defenders to be able to hold that. I like the play with using the wall charge because getting in there any other way is absolutely suicide. So using the wall charge early, I still think is a good idea. It'll make C-Store harder, but gosh, that trying to go all in to make sure you try to get that kill house, I kind of agree with that, because otherwise you're just going to lose that. It's like an auto loss, or we can try. So I like the idea of try.
Yeah, and what that map is specifically, or that specific round for Yaokuza, one of the main things that every time I played against Yaokuza, my team talks about the same thing. The wall bangs are crazy. They're the team about wall bangs, or like their team is the hallmark wall bangers, and we saw that round. That was super influential in the decision making of that, or the deciding factor of that round. You saw Yaokuza holding every spot and knowing every wall bang. You saw them shooting people, shooting the attackers. The attackers didn't even know where to shoot in return. Like we saw Merchant here in this replay. He sees Jet, but then he can't find where Jet is. He's trying to wall bang, and Jet's just evading his shots perfectly there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that was look at they're just wall banging everything.
And then when they started pushing in.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, I was just gonna say, and then you end up having like they're scavenging for guns because they don't have any ammo.
Yeah,
right. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, super well played.
Okay, so. And we did see the defenders pick up the clacker here, so this could be exceedingly dangerous if they play off of that clacker. We find ourselves back on this unyielding tide, and again, I really do like this bank. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's just so unique with the layout. Yeah, I really like how this functions, where you have like open lobby, yeah, but like there's again switchback, this really interesting loans that plays off of this hall. Like there's just a lot that like I like about it. And granted, you could be like, well, nobody ever plays manager accounting. Well, we might see that happen here as Index and Merchant make their way up. We see 6-sided Shin now working their way on lobby. The smoke goes out. As they again start pre-firing, that corner sleep's just gonna get cut down. That crossfire is just absolutely deadly. But Jet does get picked up in reply. As they have now worked their way into manager. They do have a frag to be able to clear that barbed wire on bathroom. As now Ghetto laying out that damage. Oh, gets picked up by 6-sided as they push in towards Coop too. It's down to Tommy and Photon on the back side of this. As long as they have button control, but if they lose this, if the frag goes out and they're able to just push button as hard as they can, I think they're gonna molly it. Is what's gonna happen. Oh, and he gets dropped. Merchant. Okay, frag out. Will pick up the barbed wire, yes. But it's down to Tommy, and they need to... Oh, and there's the molly. Okay, so the delay. And they still have one more molly. So this north side has to start pushing in. Shin needs to just push this with the flashes. Oh, Tommy's waiting. Please flash us. Please flash us. Good. Okay, molly goes out. Flash goes out deep. Index is in. Trading. Gets Tommy. Oh, that's what they needed. He needs to go for button now. It's all down to Photon. He's running around there. They know where he is. Other flash goes out and gets picked up by 6-sided as he dropped Shin. And they have it. Wow. Bringing it to 2-3. So well done. How much? 50 seconds left? Plenty of time as they go and pick up Clacker? Yes, they get Clacker. All right, good. They're in good shape. Yep. No, they absolutely do. The defenders have it. I'm a little bit worried about this next round because they didn't use it this go. So, wow. Again, just goes to show you. Look at the collapse in on manager. Perfectly well played, right? Defenders tried to hold loans as best as they could, but I actually think accounting is the stronger position. Like, if you have somebody in Teller, you have somebody north here, right? And they can bail out into this security, right? I felt like the defender positioning was adequate, but like again, didn't push this door, so they ended up hemming them in the other way. And I'm glad we got to see this map play out a completely different way than the last time.
Yeah, and one of the biggest thing I want to highlight there is like it turned into a 4v2 because Yakuza were playing very aggressive in that lobby. Jet peeked out on them, wasn't able to get any return, and gets picked off instead. And it just wasn't great trades all around. Six-sided or Box was able to pick off Ghetto into Teller, and it turned into a 4v2. And what I liked what Gnomes did there was they didn't funnel into one spot to attack that button room. Instead, they put 2-2 split, and they were able to attack from both sides. And one side was flashing for the other side, and you saw Index was on the top side, and someone else, or I think it was Sleep, that flashed from the bottom side, and they were able to get those picks and really cut down that two-man hold on that button, which is something I really liked seeing there. But yeah, we are now on the C store, 3-2 in favor of Yakuza.
Yeah. So we'll see what the Gnomes have for attack here. Earlier we saw the wall charge, but we know that that is not currently in play. But this time around it's looking like a arcade bush. Both teams going for power on this map, though, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting map because like arcade is connected to Freezer, but it's in such a weird spot. It's like super close range, and they're asking for a pause, it seems. Yep. But yeah, I think this map is interesting to take because like if you take storefront, you got to be ready for that crossfire, or that if you watch our storefront, you got to be ready for that crossfire. But if you're taking from one side, you got to take those long range engagements, which is the trade-off. But you don't have to worry about your flank or worry about that cross as much. And that seems to be what Gnomes want to do here. If they want to take that arcade, they want to take those long range. They have the Saber. I'm pretty sure. Does Yakuza still have a mob? I'm not sure, and I'm not even sure they want to bring it on the C store, but.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, you get a long angle possibly here off of the Teller, or, you know, like, if you're going to mop, you're probably going to be playing off a Teller, right? And as long as you have somebody chilling out up here in storage or, you know, off of fridges, you're kind of protected to a degree. But, you know, I mean, your view window here is pretty good, I'd say, even if you're using the Teller to try to take your mop shot. I mean, you have all the way up to pretty much this position in storefront, which is a good distance.
Yeah, and someone I think Index is highlighting that they have a barb, so they want to try and barb it through the wall on that fridges and trying to keep that guy trapped in that fridges corner, which would be kind of interesting to see if that does happen in the round. Funny barb moment. They write on the map. I don't know. I don't think there's that much else to talk about this map. It's like Yakuza only had 3 barbs placed, and it seems like it's sort of. I mean, that one barb outside arcade will probably hinder that Gnomes push a little bit, but it seems like they were just going to go straight into Freezer instead, and they'll just get the same thing accomplished, it seems like.
Yeah, as we do come out of the pause, we do not see a grenade getting taken, so that barb on arcade could do a lot of damage, but if you're quick enough with your wit, just push through Freezer, right? We do see Ghetto kind of just chilling out with that auto shotgun, though, which can do a lot of damage on that swing. So, I mean, if he's hiding back here or up off of the freezer, like, if you try to push into this, you could get absolutely destroyed. So, Ghetto, and Ghetto, and now they've got that cleaned out pretty much, so they've got free rotation here. He's going to be working on that swing through Freezer. We've seen Gnomes work their way out. Photon laying down some damage here. Doesn't look like he hit anybody really. Maybe did some armor damage, but just you know, making sure that he has some authority, right? I sleep at Merchant now, trying to work off of that green door. We see the 3-stack here. Shed gets opened up as Index now swings on that. Ghetto now quietly waiting. Merchant now pushing up. Wow, man, Tommy's so good. Doing a lot of damage there with the knack. You might not notice it, but did do some damage to Merchant. Armor gone. Now down to HP only. Sleep now working his way in as now Photon laying down some damage from the opposite side. Oh, 6-sided drops him right away. Jet from across the map. Ghetto just waiting on that barbed wire though. As they now have control. Oh, they pick up Ghetto right away too. As 6-sided gets cooped too. It's down to Photon really, and Tommy is the last man on the far side of this. An absolute bloodbath in storefront. Tommy now on the backside of that bomb with a hope and a prayer and a molly, and he's just trying to do as much. I love this as he gets cut down, but they put a barbed wire through the wall. I don't know what that is, just for funsies, seeing if you could snare somebody as they run by. But oh my gosh, absolutely dismantled. As it puts us up. We're at a 3-3 right now.
Yeah, very close game. I think that was a great round for Gnomes. They were able to take that arcade, able to take that freezer, and you saw there what I was talking about. Yaokuza, they still go for wallbangs on every map. If they can do it, they'll try it. If Gnomes had put a lot more green pressure there, I think it would have definitely been a lot of damage for Yaokuza. But we saw there Gnomes were able to clear out those corners in arcade, especially killing Ghetto as well as Jet. Both the power weapons taken out of play very early, and that really put a detriment to Yaokuza.
They kind of went down simultaneously with Box getting the snipe, and then I think it was Shin rotating and just getting the shotgun. He's like, there's going to be somebody in this corner, and just deletes him, right? Like, it was just straight up just removed him from the game, and then that just put the defenders so far behind at that point. YY was kind of... Oh, there was also lights out, right? So NVGs, the lights out went perfect timing on that too. So, Ghetto is stuck there in the corner. Lights go out. He's figuring there's going to be flashes. Shin's got his NVGs on, just rotates, sees him, and then just drops him. Checking corners, important.
Yeah, I think another big takeaway is like even when you have power weapons, you need to be sure that you're saving them for the right rounds. And I feel like that C-Store is probably the wrong round to use those power weapons, especially when there's not great spots for them. Like the auto shotgun playing in a wide open storefront like that is kind of iffy. It's not only that the game isn't about like, okay, you have a power weapon, you win. You have to actually strategize with that power weapon in the proper positions. But as we move into this dome round, both teams will be staying on their respective sides from last split, and it's 3-3 as we get these new maps in.
Yeah, as we switch over to this Dark Athena kill dome, we find that it might be this beach push, so they might be saving right off the start here for Gnomes. I feel like there can be a lot of fire coming in here though, yeah, especially on this. I love that there's literally 0 people at pit. It's barbed wired too, and there's nobody even playing it.
They'll rotate. Trust.
Yeah, trust. Oh, that molly perfectly thrown. Shin's got to go in. Snipe goes out. Ghetto now hightails it, but damage already kind of done. Boxy taking more damage. Oh man, that hurts. The attacker's already on the back foot as they just start getting into this round. Ghetto now lurking in on this base, can do a lot of damage. This 90-degree off a jet too, very scary. Oh, Tommy picks off Merchant on the far side too, all the way across the map. As now all of a sudden we're starting to get fire traded up between both teams, but I mean the attackers are just so hurt. You can't push that far side. They're just getting cut down on beach. Oh, they can't even make it to the base, and that's dangerous. Sleep had a frag, so that's been hand delivered. And Boxy gets taken out at the end. Man, absolutely obliterated off of that green door take. No pressure put anywhere else. I mean, just really well played from that defense. We'll see if anybody picks up that frag grenade, it did get pulled in. I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah, here we go. Tommy didn't check it. All right. Wow, absolutely destroyed on that beach.
Yeah, and we saw that. I mean, at least from the games I've played, it's been a very meta to just go green on Dome and then save an extra charge for a different map. Because Dome, you have that beach. It's usually pretty easy to take, but when Yakuza have set up their crosses like that, they know very well how to hold that beach, especially when you have multiple people peeking the angle. It's hard for the attackers to know exactly where to peek because all these defenders are so spread out and they are peeking from the bushes, they're peeking from top rooms, peeking from obs. It's hard to keep track. And on that dome specifically, that green is actually probably one of the most hardest domes to eco on.
Bush eco, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a big risk to eco like that, especially, and maybe they just saw that map and they're like, hey, let's just try green. We're probably going to get slaughtered and put resources in later, right? We've seen people kind of like eco on certain maps because they don't feel like it's worth taking everything. But they did lose some resources there, and if you're going to just full eco like that, just straight up go full eco. I'm surprised they didn't throw more smokes. I feel like smokes would have been like as open as that beach entry is. If you can get your smokes on the edge to be able to get into base, that's something. But we didn't see anything get used really. You know, maybe a handful of flashes, and that was it.
Yeah, and that was really well played by Yakuza. They really out strategized Gnomes there, and keep in mind the Saber's gone as well, and Yakuza still have their mop, and we could see a very dominant green peak here for Jet, and not much the attackers can do except for smoke it or plan for a smoke, and they don't have it marked on the map, so I'm afraid for them right now.
I mean, we did that double. We saw the double snipe from Gnomes come out. So you know, do unto others, right? Like, you're gonna come out of this truck and try to push green. We're gonna get this snipe off the window, and I hope, yes, the attacker team. Oh, merchant. They're gonna do something with the wall charge here too. I can see him have it. Oh, that flash was bad. Jet takes the shot. Oh, but the follow-up by Ghetto was so good. 3 men off that door. Oh my goodness. And I think they threw a frag and it didn't clear the wire. This is absolutely just gonna be a bloodbath here, I think, as they start swinging in. Nope, Tommy and Ghetto let him in as they start coming in. Oh, he sees him! Oh man, Merchant does pick up Ghetto on that backside. Jet trying to watch that fan, but hey, cleared the corner. It's all good as they start moving their way up. Jet's just waiting for that next pick though. As the attackers now kind of just stacked up on this green. They've got 2 flashes left. Oh, they're going to wall charge in on this. That's right. So wall charge getting ready. Wall charge goes out as they start coming in. Tommy now kind of out in the open as he cuts down Merchant. As now they spill in. Boxy comes in. Sleep picks up Tommy. Jet on the back side of this, though. Oh, gets Box. Oh, 6-sided gets rough right. Sleep gets the cross, though. Sleep putting in so much work now as Coop tries to get in on him. Index now trying to rotate on the backside. Jet's going to try to pick him off. No! Index looking his direction, and now it's all down to Coop and Sleep. Now trying to work his way in. Coop up in the office. Now Sleep trying to do trades. They need to get somebody on bomb, and then Index just needs to cover the drop. As Coop now works his way down, just needs to cover the cross as he runs in. Alright, all he needs to do is say, hey, he's never gonna make it. Molly goes out, you're gonna get the defuse, he's probably gonna drop you. No, doesn't even get him. Sleep, doing so much work in that round. Unbelievable. Absolutely did work there alongside Index.
Yeah, we saw that Gnomes, they went straight for that green door, went for that wall charge, and even if they didn't get even when they did not get the barb with the nade there, they were able to get into green for practically free because Tommy, Ghetto, they all left. Even I guess they didn't know about the barb not getting blown up, but I'm pretty sure they would have held that server farm a lot more harder if they had known. But getting that free server farm control just opened up Gnomes to get that wall charge, and that wall charge was somewhat unexpected, but they lost some people on entry, but it didn't matter as they were able to get so much control of that pipework area, which just led to so many people from Yakuza dying, and therefore getting that bomb control, which was very essential in that 1v2 there, with Gnomes able to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of those things where, like, it just, I think the wall charge kind of surprised them because I believe that was hidden the full time. So I don't think, it just kind of caught him off guard, right? And Jet was just holding that backside, waiting for somebody to come around. And then he gets, I don't know if it got swung or crossed, but man, he ends up getting picked off. And he was kind of like the one dangerous point because the other, like, Coop was holding office and there's just a lot to try to swing in on, right? And just a lot of good counter angles for the attackers there, which really picked up a lot and did a lot of damage there to the defenders. And then eventually it was just down to one man up in the office, has to make the rotation, which is so hard.
Yeah, and it seems like the team is calling for a pause once again.
Sure.
But that last round, very well played by Gnomes, even though it was pretty close, as every round here it seems to be, as it now tied to 4-4 once again.
Yeah, so we find ourselves here on this kill house Attila Rook. Some interesting little zigzag action going down here through this hallway. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like a endless corridor, it feels like. You gotta check those close corners, but like, it's like, can someone actually like rat in this corner, like not be seen? It'd be like, it kind of looks, I mean, if you're looking down the hall, it kind of looks like you could hide there pretty safely-ish, but at the same time it's not safe because you can't really rotate out.
Yeah, I mean, I think for defenders specifically, just because it looks like most of the direction that the attackers are coming in, I highly doubt you'd really see a rotation this, like, well, I guess they'd be coming in through here. So you probably would never see an attacker rotate all the way back. So you'd probably rat here off of this corner, right? So if you put, you put a barbed wire in somewhere in here, you can probably get a good swing, actually, is what I'm betting. Right? You probably wouldn't just rat. You'd probably rat and swing.
I don't know. It's just that hall feels like it's just it's a long angle, but like there's a bunch of small like areas you can't see while you're looking down that hall.
Yeah, this pillbox position is really dangerous too. Just that angle is just super sharp. There's no real like wall protection here for the attackers to try to get through or like take a look. Right, like it is a blind run around this corner and you're gonna get killed. And looking from the plan on this, we did see earlier that they did have a hey, shoot this angle, and if they're gonna go for this play, it's gonna be pretty dangerous to have both these windows set up here to kind of shoot out from that corner.
Yeah, I kind of hate how this map is designed because like pillbox, it's a room, but it's a room that gives you control of the outside, which is kind of interesting because like you can have situations like this where the red door is guarded by the pillbox, and then the other red door is also guarded by another area. And you see this checkpoint here, this window, you can kind of hold this other red door too. You're basically forcing the attackers to take these fights all the time it feels like it's very defender sided.
Yeah, specifically for the fact that checkpoint and pillbox are kind of covering both sides of the map, right? Like, dedicate one defender to watching each, and you can probably, have a long range gun chilling here, have a long range gun or medium to close range gun there, and you can probably get some damage on somebody, right?
Yeah, especially with the new update, people have a greater advantage holding a position rather than peeking in a position. So attackers will be at disadvantage if they start peeking or trying to peek this pillbox. They have to use a smoke or whatever just to get into the map, which, I don't know, feels kind of wrong to me. But Gnomes, they have to choose a lesser evil, and they want to go hall here. And it seems like they just want to go straight towards that backstage area. And getting that window control will also give a lot of control into that bomb as well. But the match is on pause now, and this is the final round of this split before the teams switch once again.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see the attacking team spilling out here from, as Tommy does lay down some damage, does hit six-sided as he's kind of working his way around. Molly gets thrown in as they start pushing their way, and they finally take out Tommy. So Thorn inside already eliminated, but did do some damage prior to him entering. Oh man, as Ghetto just absolutely lays Law down. Coop with that cross. double picked up right here for YY. Like, we're seeing that it's down to a 3v3 right now, but the attackers are so hurt. They do have some utility. They do still have a door charge. Man, this long angle too off of this door. They're just trying to play these wall bangs, like you said. So good. Good smoke on courtyard. Just trying to make sure that nobody can get seen. As they get across, Shin takes a little bit more damage. Yeah, they're all on a sliver of health, and all the defenders are at full. They're gonna have to use the one utility they have left. Plus the oh no, drops door charge, and Sleep's got the clacker. Oh my gosh, they're all dead. If this gets picked up, it could be absolutely murder. You see this in casuals. Oh, it is last round.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can see why they took it, but man.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Yakuza, oh, the stats are bugged because they kept rejoining, but we have 2 coops now. Ghetto popping off, especially with those wall bangs on the typical for Yakuza, just spraying down. And I'm interested to see if Gnomes, if we do end up going back to that map, I'm interested to see if Gnomes will try and mimic that wall bang potential, but going through that hall just seemed very detrimental for them because they had to deal with that wall bang, and as well as taking that pillbox, which did work. They killed Tommy. They had to go up through that hallway, deal with those windows, and we saw Jet getting a kill through the window, and we saw Coop just completely dominating that long hall through that door. And I don't know. It's now on to Dome with Yakuza 5-4. I don't know. This could be another tie. But as we look
I mean, we'll see where if this goes 5-5 suddenly, but I mean, this is such a stronger play here that the attackers are going to try to go for. It's very hard to defend. It gets you into jungle, and while yes, you're like, oh, we have to work our way across jungle and get up here into ops, right? Like, it's a much more direct route. And if you send like one sniper, or like I think we're even seeing like a 2 laid out here for beach, right? Now all of a sudden you've got pressure point here from 3 people, and you've got the pressure point here from 2, whereas in before it was just all 5 here, and the defenders would just sit back and just snipe from high, or take long shots from high or low. And this is just such a much more difficult scenario for the defenders. I do feel like a wire here and here would be really strong. Or, keep it high side with the wire, right? So that way you can rotate back and forth off of this ops, get swings. I feel like this defense is just a little bit lax, and I think YY is going to be able to take full advantage of that. They do have to deal with a lot of these really sharp angles, though, from, like 180s, you're sleep low side, merchant high side kind of thing. But I'm just not a big fan of these barbs. And I would have liked to have seen, if you're really going to devote 2 into this upper box, more mollies, right? More delay. Yeah. And just try to hold as long as you can at that point.
Yeah, those barbs seem to give up a lot of land, but they're still going to hold it pretty aggressive, though.
Yep, Sleep now taking cover. I think they know that they're pushing in towards this top door. You can see the defenders kind of rotating for that. Jet now and Ghetto. Sleep now trying to take that top position. Oof. Jet looked away towards base just then. And here we go. Flash goes out. Index did get flash. It's now Sleep. Now it does pick off 1 as he's hemmed up at the top. Box picks up another one, but Ghetto and Phantom pick up 1. Ghetto with a 3rd as they've now wiped up the entire defense that was set in jungle has been eliminated. It's now down to Box and Shin as they do get the frag on that. So now all that is cleared. Lights go out. They have no, and Shin gets dropped, had Molly in hand, but gets killed with it, and now is all up to 6-sided, and he has a Lagros. It does not do that much, and the flash comes in perfectly, does punch him as he has to bail out, and now he has to get seed the position, and now he's trying to do as much damage as he can as he finally gets taken out at the end. It's just, man, I don't know. Maybe you have the barb on the inside, because even if it would have been up here, it would have been cleared. Again, I feel like there's just if you're sure they're gonna come in this way, I feel like there's some other spots. Like again, a barb here forces them to either take the high side. You're not gonna want to push this. It gives protection to hit this, right? Barb here lets them be able to try to take stairs, but they can never push around it, which means you can fully sit here, you know, on that corner and require them to have to, once they get through the barbed wire after you peek, take a safety position, right? And again, no road flares taken for the defense side, whatever. So as soon as power got put out, I mean, you're even at a higher disadvantage because you can't see anything.
Yeah, in the beginning there, it seemed like it could have gone both ways for either team. You saw Gnomes getting picks, you saw Yakuza getting picks, and it was just a very exciteful like first part of that round, where we saw a bunch of kills happening. I wasn't even able to like get all of it, but I was trying my best. But so much happened so quickly. It turned into a 3v2 in the end with Yakuza favored, and it just seemed like I don't know. They just played heavy. They played heavy for the mollies, but they were peeking, or he was trying to molly, but like he got shot from the outside, and then it was just 1v3. It just seemed unwinnable for Gnomes there, especially when you're playing for the obs with mollies. It's going to be hard because that obs door is very big and it's very open, and it's not like a normal door where you could just like play a little close, wait for a door sound, wait for them to push up a little bit. You have to like take those long angles, especially on that, especially when the bomb is in obs. You have to like it's going to be hard to hold with mollies, especially when you lose that barb.
Definitely. Yeah, that barb became like the linchpin from them trying to hold and just everything falling apart, right? And again, like no road flare makes it so hard. You're standing in that ops, and when power's out, there's no like windows to backlight the attackers, so it's pure black. Like you don't see anything out there, so it's really hard for defenders to really like try to fight that.
Yeah, now it's 6-4 for Yakuza, and it seems like Gnomes need to win these last two if they want to tie again.
Yeah.
If Yakuza do win this out, though, they will have a one-round advantage for the next match, where they only need to get 6 to win the series.
Yeah, I mean, and that puts you in a real good position of strength here, as we do see that barb go down on the green. You see Box now trying to hold off of this fan, which, I mean, this could get something as they rotate around. They were expecting somebody being off the green window. Kushin now rotating back. I'm not really a fan. Again, they're putting... Oh, and Boxy tries to take the shot, but gets cut down by Jet. They do pick up Sniper as he rotates back now. They now have full control over the server farm, though, and have full control over being able to what they want to do. No real defense put up here. Merchant, you're going to see if he can get a pick off this door. Does lay down some fire. Immediately. Double flashes go out, but he was full blind and could not make it through the door. So he's going to have to back up and gets one. Now Merchant gets a second. Oh my gosh, he's doing work, but now he's hemmed in there. His teammate mollies him in. Now he's down on the floor. Trades with Ghetto. Merchant, one-man army, moving forward.
Oh
Gets
my.
Jet. He's on a 4K. Oh my gosh, is he gonna go for the fifth? Pushes in towards Tommy, but finally gets dropped. But he has literally single-manned their entire team. Tommy with a frag grenade is now versus 3. The defenders, as long as they don't solo peek everything, the lights have been put out, but as long as they don't go in one at a time, and they make sure to hold their proper angles, will be good. Index and Sleep now are going to try to hold this green door. As they lay down the fire, Coop, frag grenade out. Both defenders bail out of the office as they need to. Sleep has returned, but Index now low side. As Sleep now trying to challenge him. This is where you don't want to do that, my dudes. Just hold the angles, and there we go. Shin with the snipe across the office. You know, I guess Sleep was just the sacrificial lamb there. Go get him with your Lagras. You know, looks scary, and I'll try to pick him off from the backside. But Merchant doing absolute work, gets mollied off, and just decides, hey, time to put the carry pants on.
Yeah, that was just amazing by Merchant. I don't even think it was intentional either. Let me pull up the replay real quick. As you can see, Merchant's holding this angle here onto the boiler, and he gets a lot of damage off this this hold. He just shoots back up like a normal defender is supposed to do. Very awesome hit and run. He's able to do damage. Did not receive any himself. See, he tried to open a door, get into the office to rotate, but he opened it and it blocked himself off, and he just decided to stay here. And the attackers were not expecting
and
this
they
at
never
all.
checked it. They
Yeah.
thought he ran through the door, and then he put the second one through the door. Oh my gosh. And then he drops low, and they're checking high, so gets the surprise on that one too. And what a shot on Jet, though, right there. He's got the high ground. He's got the freaking armor, additional armor for the bullet pen because of that catwalk, and still gets him. Holy hell.
Yeah.
What a shot. That shot through the door, though, was just disgusting. Because he picks up one, and then he's like, there's going to be another one, and then just barely sees his shoulder and gets the shot on the door again. Man. All right. That was hot.
Yeah, I'd like to mention the kill onto Jet, though. It was only possible he got that kill in one shot because he did that damage on that boiler angle. Jet was lowered to 1 HP, basically, and that was very awesome by Merchant. That's going in the highlight reel for sure.
And we're back on Attila Rook. This interesting kill house again with the pillbox checkpoint fight here. Looks like they're gonna try to do this clacker green checkpoint.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I'm guessing they don't have any charges left, because I think it's just a troll, but we'll see. As Gnomes, I think, do they know they have to go green? I'm not sure. Or should I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Do they have? They do have a wall charge, so it seems like they're just going to get on that green, because that green does give you fast control of that bomb site from the bottom side at least. But there's a lot of crosses.
Yes. I hope we see more rotation in towards this kitchen, because I do feel like that kitchen is a very strong hold for multiple attackers to be in. Sleep now trying to rotate, but he can't, because like Tommy laid down the law, and so he's worried they're gonna push in through that door as they wall charge into club, and now they've got that backside of club. Molly goes out, Flash goes out, Snipe goes out, Index alone in the hall though, could get pushed. Swing's trying to get photon, but does not pick it up. And we're already down 3 defenders. It's down to Shin and Sleep as they're trying to just fall back as Ghetto and Jet and Photon all converge on that last position, and everybody gets cut down. Oh my goodness, and that is the round for YY. Just, man, that wall charge just absolutely surprised them. Good molly, but too many just cross pickups there from YY. Knew exactly the angles they needed to take, and were able to just push through the defending team there for Gnomes. Kind of crumble right there at the end.
Yeah, and we saw there that Yaokuza were able to get that wall charge on. It was not on the green door. It was just straight into sight, which was a good wall charge. I did not really see it, but it was straight behind that bar, which really cleared that cross. They did not need to cover anymore, so they didn't have to worry about the crosses as much, going through that green door solely or by itself. And that really opened up a lot of opportunities. They were able to get flashes deep into sight, really push off those defenders into the backstage, push them off that bomb, and that just really just led to so many picks, especially onto that window in checkpoint. That just led to a whole bunch of picks given to the Yakuza side.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's a very satisfying game there. It was very close. Yakuza taking it 7-5. And we look at the stats here. Merchant almost hit 2k damage, which is very good in any game. Ghetto also very up there, but we can definitely say that Merchant was probably the MVP of that game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you can see the teams are actually very close. I mean, overall, just comparatively, just a little bit of damage here and there, and maybe you're like, sometimes you have those instances where you just look away for a second, and you're like, you get dropped, or you did some damage, and you're like, okay, I'm trying to fall back, and then you get crossed, right? So, I mean, they're just so close. These teams, like, just in terms of stats, are just a minuscule amount different, right? Like a couple hundred points here and there, right? And I mean, otherwise teams are looking pretty similar here.
Yeah. We go to a quick break here.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back with that third game, concluding with the Yakuza Gnomes. It'll be 1-6. So a lot of pressure here on Gnomes to step up, and Yakuza. We'll see if they are able to close this out.
Well, for Gnomes, they have to get 7, but for Yakuza,
Oh, it's gotta be
yes.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see y'all very soon as we take a little break.
Welcome back to our thrilling conclusion of Yakuza versus Gnomes. We are in our game 3. We're ready to see how this all unfolds. I'm rejoined here by my co-caster, cameraman, analyst, Akazo.
Hello.
We saw once again a close game, but YY finally being able to take the win on that series. But man, Gnomes have kept it really close the whole time. We'll see if they can stick it out for the third game. They need to get to 7 to be able to push this to another game. So, but Yakuza only needs to get to 6. So the mountain stands before the Gnomes. We'll see if they can make the summit.
Yeah, it seems like they are paused, but we can look at the map real quick.
Jungle has high ground, right? You'll be able to see down on the beach. This castle has shots off of this. And there's no way into castle except for going through pit really. So, really strong defense. We see the smoke coming out. 3 on beach as they move up. Ghetto hightailing it out of there. Box and Merchant, though, waiting on this backside. Tommy has that molly. Goes out. All right, and it is held. So 3 on beach, now pushing forward. Sleep making his way through that north side. There's so much barbed wire through there too, which is gonna make it so hard to be able to work your way through that free entry. I think they know that there's somebody there. Oh, and Box takes out Tommy immediately. Smoke goes out as they start working their way in. As Coop is on that high side, Jet trying to make something work here. Does he get a shot at Merchant as he emerges? Gets power and gets out. Jet not able to find purchase there. It's still this 5e, and Jet finally drops. And Merchant takes out Coop at the backside. Photon does pick up 1. Ghetto getting crossfired, though, in the water. It's all down to Photon. He's working his way out, trying to get this mop, trying to get that high side. Is 6-sided gonna see him, though, as he swings? Does drop 6-sided as Merchant is on bomb on the backside, though. He is safe, and look at this. AP's ringing out. Photon stuck on that backside. He will be able to pick up this mop, though. Does recover the power weapon. I don't think the attackers can get in there with the power being off. They will also pick up their saber, though, trying to make sure that they're on the windows, picking up the gear. Everybody gets their power weapon recovered, but really clean here from Gnomes as they push in.
Yeah, the best trade deal ever. Do you think the saber is better than the mop as of right now?
I do believe the saber is better than the mop.
Hasn't really changed in playstyle that much, but I feel like the saber has really changed a lot because of the update. You have a lot more recoil, so you can't really spam, and you move a lot slower when you ADS, which makes it more like you have to hold an ankle rather than just being a lot more aggressive that most saber players do back then. But yeah, that last round. That was a very new map. I don't think I've ever played on it. Pretty sure the other teams haven't played on it either, and it was very interesting to see how that played out as Gnomes were able to blow that ruins, really split that defense, and really get those picks that really opened up the round to that bomb defuse.
Yeah, we saw that earlier in one of the maps on Domes where I had called for, hey, there was a door on like the north side, and it was like, if you blow that, it puts a lot of pressure on defense. You could send nobody, but because that door is open, you don't know. There could be a delay, and it just becomes this very worrisome thing where you kind of have to dedicate people to guard versus it when you can still send people to the other side, right? So as we see them kind of starting to push in here towards Brick House, working their way through reception, it looks like this is going to be that free entry here as they push in. We see that the defenders all held up here in this office locker. Smoke goes out, make sure they can get in. Brick House now making sure that's all clean. Photon trying to do some damage, but luckily Sleep's hidden behind that brick wall. One of the very few places where you do get that bulletproof nature, as now we start hearing those shots ringing out. Sleep opens the door next for office, and we see the defenders continually moving backwards in towards this club. Attackers getting more and more space. Jet just waiting patiently to see if anybody comes to the kitchen. Finally, the wall pens do some damage here as Photon swings around. Grenade goes off, but the Flogel barb comes in, as we have coined it, and Sleep gets cut down by Ghetto as he rotates back. And now that barb has been put into place. They cleared it, and Frank goes out though. Now Molly, Merchant running his way through, trying to get a swing, but Jet answers in reply as he comes back in. Photon trying to spray damage down, as now they're down to about 4 flashes left, roughly. As the flash goes out a little bit early, they needed a second one. Now Index gets traded out. Ghetto now cutting everybody down. I mean, this was very much a green take. I don't think attackers, I mean, more flashes might have helped there on the corner, but you still had to get into the bomb room. It's buried so far back, no matter if you use a charge or not, you have to work through so much area, and you can't even really go through bar. You have to go through one of 2 doors. So that map feels really, I want to say defender-sided, but just seems like you would have to do an eco play, try to make your way through, but you're going to get chewed up by the defenders in that kill house.
Yeah, the biggest thing that round was Gnomes are, it's a good eco, but you have to kind of wallbang back, it feels like, because Yaokuza were able to wallbang, they are able to do some damage, but you also have to wallbang back and try and understand the map a lot more, because when you're pushing that backstage, you saw how Ghetto and Jet were playing super close to the door because they are allowed to play close to that door. You need to wallbang those spots as you're trying to push in, just so they die and you don't let them push into you with guns like the auto shotty and the small KR. But as we move into this next round, it is 1-1. A very similar theme that we've seen this whole series is just back-to-back ties.
Yeah. I mean, they're punching and counter-punching, right? So it's a lot of body blows going on here. No haymaker yet, but we're finding ourselves here on this bank boundless intruder.
Yep. We have the I've seen a lot of people do this play, and I think that's what Gnomes are going to do, is charge the entrance and wall charge into managers to get that fast button control. But the problem with that is, like, you also, when you do that, you have to take hall control still, and you've already committed 2 big pieces of utility, the wall charge as well as that door charge, to get that button control. And the lobby doesn't give you that much control of the hall, so it's like, is it worth the expense? I don't know, but
I say to make it through the man traps, which you can see right now. Gnomes have done this a couple of times where they're like, we don't want to deal with man traps, they're too dangerous, and we've seen them try to use the man traps on defense and get absolutely cut down. I'm starting to see a pattern here with Gnomes. They don't like man traps on bank at all, and they will avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, I know Merchant is one of the big man trap holders in the league. He knows how dangerous it is.
We are seeing him rotate up into that free door loans, though, so I think he's hoping his team will get a lot of, oh, Tommy now, he doesn't know what to do. He's kind of stuck. Oh, perfect frickin' smoke there as he starts spilling it. Tommy, oh my gosh, Index kills Box because of Tommy's fire, and all he had to do was just not really return there. Oh, man. Merchant now waiting patiently as he pushes in towards loans. There's no defenders over there. I think they're getting ready for this. They're waiting. They can see them on security, right? Like, they know they're going to be grabbing this wall charge. They're going to make the call now as they move their way in. But there's a lot of defenders like located on the south side. Pre-Molly goes out as they wait. Sleep now. I think it would be good for them to get hall control, which I think is what. Oh my gosh, Coop swings out of security and picks up another one as Tommy lays down damage on that door too. It's like they know where they are. Coop finally getting picked up by Tommy. He must hear him running around in on Teller, so he knows that he needs to pre-fire it. Okay, Jet just waiting patiently. The Clacker's picked up. The wall charge zombie is 3 on this button. And now Jet, gets mollied though. He flambés his own teammate as Merchant's gonna get tied down from behind from Tommy. But, I mean, the damage is done. There's 3 defenders up. They can start looking for gear. Probably gonna recover this Clacker. That actually kind of hurts. You probably could have stood where that bomb was and clacked from outside. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and then rotated back in. Actually, would have been pretty smart to, like, try to save the clacker if you were really going to try for it. Yeah, that kind of fell apart really quick just from really good picks from YY. Um, really stuck it to Gnomes there on that play. I mean, again, like the play, just again, bad picks, the TK, right? YY is going to exploit that to the full extent that they can.
Yeah, and we saw that yeah, that TK really shook Gnomes. They after that TK they had to stop and think like, okay, they slowed down everything right when that TK happened, and they were trying to think of a way to recoup that loss. And they still eventually got into that lobby, but Coop was just given so much free space to just keep getting picks, especially to that security. And when that Watchers did go down, Index forgot to just like wait for mollies because Yakuza, they knew exactly what was going to go on because they could see through the security door or the security wall, and they could see the wall chargers placed. So just gotta wait for those mollies to go down. But yeah, now we're it's 2-1 in favor of Yakuza on this dome, and both teams have switched sides, and we'll see another round of this super high dome where the bomb will be on that top ruins.
Yeah, Photon, like, looking at the stats right now, too, really bringing out the damage, 429. I mean, he's top of the charts right now compared to everybody else, so really putting in a lot of work right now for him, so. And we see them starting to pick up all this gear. Saber, 2 Black Towers, and 2 APs. We're seeing a couple Ingmars, or 8 Ingmar, a Sniper, and a couple smattering of other weapons here as well, so.
Yeah, and we saw the both. I mean, power weapon coming out from defense side and none coming from the attackers. Oh wait, actually Jet did pick it up actually.
Yeah, but does have there is Saber versus Mop on
Yeah.
this map in particular. So, but we only see 1 devoted on this beach, as we see like these other 3 starting to push in here. As Tommy takes a good amount of damage there off of Merchant. Merchant holding those hard angles, man. Okay, smoke goes out. Box picks up 1 off the initial coop, is already dropped on beach. That pressure gone. As Tommy does try to push up towards Merchant, but he's crossfired off by Sleep. I mean, it's just they've got all the angles covered right now here from Gnomes. And Photon just stuck in the corner. Ghetto just trying to back him up from behind. Jet so far down does pick up Box right there. Jet is playing so far off the map, I did not see where it was. I thought he had left the game. That's how far away he was off the backside of that map. But now they have lost their sniper as Jet starts pushing in. They do have their toehold on that top side of the map. And now Ghetto is rotated down. Sleep might get caught from behind, and he needs to be so careful right now. Ghetto might pick him up. Oh, he's just right on the edge, and there he goes. Jet picks him up from the crossfire, and it's down to Index. Puts in some damage, but I don't know if they have the cross here. I don't think they can see him. They're gonna have to spill out. And Ghetto? No. Index now hauling up, clears him off a bomb. So clean. Shin picks up the snipe. It's all down to the Jet, and now they have bomb control. I don't know if he can push this. He has no utility left unless Tommy ran in with something. He has to push with Saber now. Is Index? Oh no, Index, no, not from behind, not this way. Not this way, Index, as he gets picked up from behind. Shin tries to get the shot. Jet very hurt, but now he's got a charged bomb, and it's gonna get defused. Oh my gosh. What a blunder. Can he get the shot? Gets the kill, though. So, I mean, at least the gear is down. That is Saber. Shin might make the trade out here, but man, Index just didn't know where Jet was, apparently. Was waggling his butt to him. Oh, my.
Definitely felt like a communication issue there. Feel like, I mean, I didn't get to watch the first part. My computer was lagging, but I did see the end part where the snipers really came into play there. We saw the Saber doing work, we saw the Mob doing work, and even when the Mob got picked off, we saw Keishin pick up the Mob from his dead teammate's body, and he was able to make work with it. He got 2 hits, and then I think another kill onto that hit. But yeah, Gnomes had a perfect situation there, 2v1, and it was against a Saber too, with a person that can't move very effectively, and they still were able to lose that round because of a lack of communication.
I don't know if Index just didn't know. He must have not have. I don't know why he thought he was behind him. That's the only thing. Like, I mean, granted, I will say that Jet was walking, so he might have just not have known where he was. But like, I thought Shin had seen him and possibly had made the call, but I don't think they. Yeah, I just think they thought he was low side, and had walked down and around, and that's what Index thought. But no, he was up, had pushed right behind where Tommy was, and yeah, they never heard the barbed wire, or I don't know what happened there. It was just unfortunate. There's a moment there where I wish we could hear the comms for what that happens. But if we end up getting an interview with him, I kind of want to pick Index's brain on what he thought happened there. Like, what was his mentals in that moment, right?
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, well, here we are in Sledgehammer tied to this kill house now.
Yeah, and it's 3-1 in favor of Yaokuza, and it seems like they're running away with this lead this time. But Gnomes, very unsuccessful when they were playing attack on this map, but we'll see what they can make work here now, knowing that they are now defending this map. And we see Box trying to go for an aggressive mob peek here, whereas the attackers will be going for a very short range comp with that shotgun and 4 APs.
Yeah, Box might get the initial pick if he's aiming right. Oh, smoke perfectly laid out. Box can't do anything. See, and we've seen sniping happening through most of this game, so finally a proper smoke comes out for them to be able to lead the way in. And that actually makes it so Box can only really hold this backstage. And he gets dropped immediately by Photon. Oh, does not even have a chance to take a shot. I think he might have even pre-fired that angle. The defenders are now set scrambling. They don't really have no defense for this. Shin trying to just chuck out a volley just for safety. Shin now stuck in this corner, praying for survival. Like, he's got a knack and he's going to try to make the swing, but it's versus all the attackers. Tries to do some damage. Does do some. Jet finally going down, but man, Photon is just doing work. It's all down to Index on the backside, and Coop puts a period on this play. Just an absolute explanation point, actually. Let's just wrap this up. It goes to 4-1 right now.
Yeah, and that was very fast. I think when we saw that smoke come out from the attackers at the beginning, I think Box should have at least shot a shot through the smoke. I feel like there's not many chances you get to shoot, but he probably brought like not many mop ammo. Not entirely sure. But
I mean, even if you have a couple, like, okay, so you got 3 shots left or 2 shots left. Okay, fine. I mean, this map isn't conducive to you. If you take the shot early, I mean, it's better than taking 0 shots. Again, I'm a little bit surprised though. He didn't. I feel like this is a stronger angle for him, right? Through the doors, really hard peek it, right? Like, standing out on that edge, yeah, you might be able to get somebody that swings you, but man, I'd rather have the steeper angle, especially with a sniper, right? And seeing through his angle, it was just, you saw completely, like, smoke went out, he had no vision on anybody. Maybe you could take the shot, but he didn't even have a ping down for, hey, shoot in this direction. So once the smoke kind of pops, it's like, well, I don't know where they could even be, right? Or where to even aim, because it's all just like a muddled mess.
I mean, he was already aiming at the angle he wanted to shoot at, so all he had to do was like just keep looking at the same spot when that smoke went up, and just left click. But yeah, they just really lost to wallbangs there. Typical for Yakuza is like they just spray to the walls where they know the enemies are spraying back at them. So it's like you're just using the information given to you, and you're using that ammo to your advantage. And that was a very great round for Yakuza, as they were able to take that round very convincingly as we move into the bank round. Final round of the half. And it looks like it's going to be a counting push. And I think they know that the double charge isn't that great, so they're not going to do it. They're going to blow that accounting, just go for the button there, and then try to work their way towards that vault without spending too much equipment-wise. But it is last round actually, so they should go all out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of those things where it's like, this bar, like, again, I would just try to fortify manager as much as I could, right? Double barb it, right? Try to put as much, because security is not that you. Again, holding man traps and stuff isn't that bad. And granted, yeah, you've got this angle in, and they can throw grenades in on you. But again, you know, even if you need a triple barb, I mean, manager's got this desk. It does hold pretty strong. Or have a lurker off the backside and just wait to try to swing in or something. I'm like, you know, they're gonna try to go for this button. I guess they're hoping that they can do enough damage. Again, it's about doing the damage early. Merchant though, hiding here, waiting to get in on this, but
They're really banking on the entrance blow, but they're too narrow-minded.
Yeah, I know. And what's going to happen is they're going to push. They're going to get button and like look at what's here for their defense here off of the vault, right? Like nothing. I mean, I guess they're hoping that the door is going to get open, but a good attacking team is going to make sure. Oh, and the flash is absolutely perfect. But like, if this door gets closed, they have to go this way. But if you let your attacking team run in towards Loans before you press the button, Sleep trying to lay out some damage, then you don't have to worry about that door closing. And Frag goes in, doesn't do any damage though. So it's up to Sleep, absolutely drops, but Coop gets the reply. Ghetto is dead. Merchant now with the auto shotgun, doesn't have a whole lot he can do. Closes the door, tries to get out, but is wallbanged through the door. Oh my goodness, and now it's open. Okay, so now they do have to go through Teller. I thought they would let some of the attackers in through, but now this is completely blocked off over here. So now they have to push through either security or Teller and push in through that. And Shin and Index now watching off of that corner. I think they're looking again for more wall bangs, just trying to get that jet with the snipe. Did not make any purchase, and they have to hightail it into the vault now. There is no additional barbs except for this hall. So they have to hold here. Once they take control over Hall, it's all over once they get to the vault. But they do pick up 1 and 2 off of that corner. So they are using this Loans desk to its full potential. And you saw Photon there trying to think, do I need to rotate and try to come in from behind him? But they can't. It's up to him and Tommy to try to get in through this hall. Oh, they have a wall charge. Oh my god, Index is dead. And they push in as they both get cut down. Shin with the double, but I mean, 6-sided slash box does the work right there. Oh my gosh, what an ending.
Yeah, that was very strong defense from Gnomes there. Able to hold off that accounting push. Even though they didn't really hold accounting that hard, they were able to hold it indirectly from the other rooms. Especially Sleep getting that pick, and the auto shotgun also trying to put some support in. And even though they did end up losing that button, they were able to hold that last room of defense. And once they hit that button, it just cut off that bottom side of the hallway, and they were able to just make it work there.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you're like, wait on button, let's get into position and take the vault control, right? Because like if you take that control away, then they have then they have to rotate into you. Because as soon as you're standing in front of the door, and then the defenders, like you said, the game now favors people taking angles. So if you get, especially on like bank maps, if you can pre-take the door position, attackers have to run into you, right, to be able to get into that last defense. And so especially on a map like that where the door blocks your movement, it almost pays to wait, right? And make sure you have button control, leave somebody waiting on button, and then have the rest of the team rotate into position for vault, press the button, and then rotate in, right? You can see there, that door blocking the rotation actually caused that loss. Because the attackers were up in people, they were up in utility, they could have done a myriad of other things, and they did the prescribed play, and you could see that the defense was set up perfectly to be able to counteract it, and were completely shut down.
Yeah, I like how the Gnomes were like playing very back too. Even though one of them was playing close and he got wall charged, his teams were able to make it work. Even though they were both 1 HP too.
Oh, the double flash went out, but the damage was already done. Oh my goodness. So they got the flash out. Shin was shooting them, and they both get dropped in as he was full white. Oh man. Don't ever
And
try to fight. The lesson there is Shin. Don't ever fight him in the snow. He'll just kill you.
yeah, we're now in this factory 4-2 in favor of Yakuza, and it looks like a very big factory, and the defenders are already going for a sneaky peek.
Sneaky peekies, yeah, they've got this open here, and Tommy trying to make the rotation. I mean, you're rotating into 4 defenders, my dude. That is dangerous as hell, as they do finally close that door. The attacker's now fully in on this green, though. All the attackers trying to do some damage on Tommy, and they did, like, you know, 60 damage to him?
The Gnomesies are making their way back, and they're fighting their way back, especially when they have that defense buff. They're probably going to get some rounds. We'll see if Yakuza is able to counteract that and try their best to get around here on offense. As it seems like it will be a standard storefront wall charge. Gnomes, I don't see many ways they can hold this. They could play across with that teller and the fridges, but arcade just seems very close to the storefront wall charge. It's going to be hard to defend that arcade very
Yeah, I
effectively.
mean, no, 100%. Like, Freezer doesn't really overlook it. Fridges is the only spot where if they get a flash on you in the backside where you might be able to swing. I mean, there's going to be 5 attackers in on this storefront. This is such a good storefront breach. There's no arcade opening besides right off of the initial. Like, arcade opening here would have been like way sexier in terms of like holding that angle because Freezer doesn't do anything, right? Like, it holds nothing. You know, you have teller. The only thing you have is teller hold from the. You literally have a 180-degree cross. That's it, from teller and from arcade. But like this only offers you so much. Right, that's kind of your linchpin, and then you need to have somebody off this backside. I think at least Sleep might have something here with being able to cross in off of Freezer. He does have that Lagros, but I think if the attackers go fast enough here with their equipment, they're going to do a lot of work. And Jet's going to have an absolute field day. I think. Ball charge goes out. Okay, Molly for delay, and there's Merchant trying to Jet laying out some damage, not hitting anything quite yet. Saber. They do get the Saber now reclaimed. Oh my goodness, what a hold.
Yep. Well, I think the stream was lagged out there the whole round, but
Oh no!
it's
We saw a
just
storefront push, barbed wire in off of arcade, off of the two sides. Just to describe it, it was really timid actually from YY on that push. Once a couple of their members ended up going down, some good crossfire there in the storefront, but ultimately it came down to a two-man versus three, and the defenders had the numbers in the positions that they needed to. Ultimately, like it's so hard because pushing in with that saber into three is just like you're like you don't want to do it, but you kind of have to, uh, unless you want to just do a full-on save. That does bring Gnomes to tie this round. Now they've dug themselves out of the hole and have brought themselves into parity. So given some stronger punches here than what YY is giving them. Yeah, it's anybody's game right now. Brings us to this defense on this kill dome. Once again, we saw that beach push from earlier. We saw Pit completely given up by Gnomes at that start, but we'll see what ends up happening here.
yeah.
Bomb located in Pit here, so that's going to be an interesting little row.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate this map because like it makes like jungle is like huge and like defenders can play all over there, and then if you take Casa, if you go Casa, it's also like kind of iffy because you have to kick open that door straight into that pit, which is just a lane machine or lane def lane or a def lane, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like Gnome's able to bring it back 4-4.
Yeah.
Last round of the split. Who will take the advantage going into the last split?
Yeah, double doors coming out here possibly for castle, so and jungle, so that you're gonna try to push the defenders into this. I do like Merchant's positioning here. He does very, very much like to play those angles, but look at it, he's just bailing out right now. I liked his positioning on that door, but he would get killed on that. I do like that also position for the barb. Maybe could have been a little bit better off of double windows if you would have angled that right. But overall, so Castle now has pressure on it. Doors and Molly goes out, but Photon is the only one there as the other four start stacking up off of this jungle. Sleep will be the first point of contact. Molly does go out. He might be able to give callouts here too from the window, but they probably know he's in there if they've been looking. So they know that they can actually jam him. Photon's still chilling on the backside. Box tries to take the shot, but doesn't. I think he hit Coop, but also takes a lot of damage in reply. I don't know if he can peek this again without getting absolutely just dropped. And he's kind of a linchpin to hold this long angle here. As we see Ghetto moving back now. Photon putting like no pressure in, so they're not too concerned. As now they finally come in. Sleep goes down, but in reply with Coop, Shin picks up another one. Is Ghetto now working his way onto the beach? Does pick off another one. Photon.
Yep.
Merchant. Murdering index. No, I'm just kidding.
As kind of lucky from Ghetto there, that nade just dropping into the bottom of the pit.
Yeah. He tried to get it placed and it just bounced a little bit too far and fell into pit harmlessly.
Yeah, and we saw that Yakuza, they had a interesting play there. They blew the castle so the Photon could just hold that door and make it seem like they were going to push that castle, and they eventually just blew that jungle, and they got stalled out a long time, and even six-sided or a box was able to do a lot of damage with that mob. But Yakuza were able to bring it back after getting their push actually in. They picked off Box, they picked off another player,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
defenders were put in a difficult position. But Merchant just staying on site, holding that anchor position, and really saved Gnomes that round because we saw Photon. He got in the castle, he was able to get a pick, and just start moving straight to that bomb. And he wasn't expecting Merchant to be there or Index to come back behind him and just shoot him. And that really
Yeah.
put Ghetto in a difficult position, that 1v2, and just didn't work out for them. And Gnomes were able to take all 3 of their defensive rounds there, but they will
I
be
will say,
switching to attack.
yeah. No, I will say, Index's suicide run into the castle to try to get in behind Photon was kind of the deal breaker there because if Photon had made it in and had no pressure behind him, then he would have been fine. But he knew that he had pressure once Index had actually taken some shots on him, and then he didn't know what way to look. And he had not only in front of him was Merchant, but behind him was Index, and they were 2 very good players. I'm pretty sure the communication was, "Hey, there's a guy back on bomb," and Merchant just ended up swinging and getting him, even though Index had done a ton of damage to him. So Photon made it to the objective, but he was flanked by 2, like on both sides, by 2 defenders, and that's kind of what gave them that round. And we'll see what the Gnomes have here for attack. We saw this get shut down real quick on by the defenders last time.
Yeah, Merchant. Hopefully, I think I did get the replay for that. Maybe we can show it after this round of Merchant just completely destroying everyone that pushed up. But this factory.
Another highlight play to dropped
No.
right after Merchant, just waiting for those rotations on that one side. They need to make sure that somebody's watching the backside because Ghetto is in on the backside of them, looking for Sleep as he comes in, but Shin drops him right away. Jet tries to take the shot, but Tommy picks up one. It's 3v2, but immediately Jet out in the open on that crossfire. They know how strong this office is. Merchant now trying to trade with Tommy, two of the best players in this game right now. As he's trying to move forward, Tommy just doesn't have it. Oh, he picks off Sleep though, but Shin drops down, and all of the defenders are dead. No gear to save. They still have the clacker, and they can start spreading out and looking for some extra gear. And they do pick up the mop, and then we know the next map is Dome, I believe, which does give them even more long range support.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Gnomes who were attacking. They went for a similar play just by going green and taking that top pipeworks area. And they were able to just push Yakuza into difficult positions where they couldn't really hold that bomb. And you saw at the end there, they were able to get that pick onto that bottom after the bomb has already been defused. And Gnomes able to take it 6-4.
Yeah, we're on game point right here. Oh, sorry, we're on storefront now, so not Dome is our last map. My mistake. But I will say this is still is a really long range map. So taking snipers is good here. But man, I'll just say the Gnomes dissecting the fact that that office is just such a stronghold on that map and then executing it properly. And while YY tried to really like punish them for taking green and did a lot of damage and they got that early pick, just not been able to do enough.
Yeah, I am reconnecting to the match, but I can see that Gnomes is trying to go for an arcade push and just straight take that storage and maybe hit those lights there. Not sure how effective that will be on a C store, as there's a lot of red lights in every doorway. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it
Well, the
works.
store, yeah. I mean, if they're able to clear out the arcade lights, I mean, there's not a lot in the storefront at that point, right? Um, so I mean, I will say if you're going to push fridges or you're going to push this after storage, it can be a little bit dangerous. But overall, I feel like this could work. It's just how fast are they going to be able to do this play? Because having to get the frag out, having to melt the barb with the frag, right? And like while you're trying to hold this arcade side and do all these other things, like there's a lot of opportunities for the defenders to rotate into different positions and take some pretty strong locations here on the arcade. But it's looking like this is going to be a double play. I actually see a clacker placed out here on this, so it could be a double charge play here as well.
Yep. Could well be if they want to close out this game, because Yakuza
Yeah.
only need to get 2 more rounds to win.
Oh, they're gonna put a peek hole. So they're adding a sniper lane in here for 6.
But there's no one
Trying to-
there, so like, there's no defenders there.
Well, yeah, but they want to make sure that they have this covered when they push in. Coop with that auto shotgun can do a lot of work. They've cleared that out now. Molly comes out. Coop trying to get some shots. Flash does go out. They're down to only a handful of flash left. Another flash pulled. Okay, there it goes. Flash goes out. Coop completely blind, but gets the kill. And Tommy picks up the second. And a third. Oh my gosh, the attackers is falling out here. And they have auto shotgun. Shin finally picks up Coop. Alright, now finally pulling back, but it's only him. Oh, he gets sniped off the backside by Box. Oh, and picks up another one. Because Shin and him are just absolutely doing work. It is down to Tommy. Box and him now working their way in. I think if they push this arcade side, they'll actually be in better shape than trying to push storage. They do have that flash. I think Shin's just gonna try to hold as they move up towards the. Oh my gosh, Tommy with just the absolute prediction. What a mad lad! Now has the auto shotgun on the backside of fridges. They can't approach this bomb. They have no more. Shin gonna be the sacrificial lamb here. It's all down to what side Tommy decides to come out on. Oh, and now rotates on the right side, picks up Shin, and now he has bomb control. Oh my gosh, it's down to the last 2 mans. They're playing Ring Rosie. Auto shotgun versus Saber. The auto shotgun reigns supreme.
What a roller coaster there. We saw that. Oh my gosh, Yakuza gets 3 picks, and then all of a sudden they forget that there's a hole in
Sniper?
storefront. Yeah. And then it just lost
get
2.
absolutely cut down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I will say that was such a smart positioning too by Gnomes.
Oh crap.
Just because of the angles that was at was so hard off of that storefront that he was actually, I think, able to almost shoot all the way into the arcade / storage area. So he's actually covering a lot of territory there. But that is both door charges down, which means what's gonna happen? Gnomes are gonna push all beach. What's gonna happen? YY is gonna just sit everybody in jungle and base and slaughter the Gnomes, because I think once again we're getting that scenario of Gnomes are like, we're gonna 5-man push green beach, and because we don't like this dome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this replay back up, but it was very, very, very fast paced there. We saw Keishin and Box just like not giving up, and they're able to take so much kills there because of Yakuza's aggression. Yakuza gets 3 picks, and they suddenly believe they cannot lose.
Yeah. No, for sure. And then you saw all of them like swarmed that location, but Box / 6-sided ends up just holding that hard angle, and then he cuts down like 3 people. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like at that point, just hold your angles, right? That's all you have to do. You've got it's 5v or 4v 2, and then you let them pick you apart like that. I will say also Shin did a lot of work there. Just clawing back a bunch of kills, dropped auto, got a couple of really good swings as well to pick up some additionals, and then really tried to play off of that bomb, but it just sucks because he had to hold the short direction, and versus the auto shotgun, it's still, he was pretty wounded too. So this had a little bit of a disadvantage here, but we're gonna see 5-man just pushing in towards this beach. They've got a long way to go to make it towards that bomb, because it's gonna be, you gotta go through beach. You're gonna hear the kick. Jet also has Saber too, which is a little bit scary, so Saber on defenders. Okay, good smoke goes out, which allows them into base, but they still have to channel in. I'm surprised that there's no barbed wire here. That'd be so good. Okay, second smoke goes out to try to block the rest of that team. Jet actually hanging back, not actually concerned about this stuff. Door gets opened by the button as they start pushing him in. Sleep drops one immediately. Coop goes down. Good molly to give them a little bit of time. Tommy and Jet just waiting off that. Another molly, but that's it for their utility. Merchant has a molly, decides to throw it in, making sure that there's nobody camping this corner. And now it's down to the barb, but they don't. They're gonna have to use a flash grenade here, because they do not have a grenade. Photon swings out and immediately dies. Ghetto does try. Oh, Index with another TK as Tommy picks up Merchant on the backside, and Boxy is picked off from Tommy. He's putting in work at that long range with a Gruber from across that map. What a mad lad with that short range gun from that far away. Everybody complains about the sights on that gun too. It's all down to Index, and Index and Kashin. Kashin's in on holding off a bomb, but Index, you just gotta get in there, man. Gotta start pushing. Kashin's got you over on Overwatch as Tommy's just waiting on that backside. Does have a molly too, so he can support. This 2v3. Index is just so wounded. Shin, you need to be pushing. Index needs to be watching the window, like legit. Index should not be pushing this. He has so little health left, and then he's gonna get dropped. So now it's down to Kashin. Okay, drops Ghetto. It's down to 2. It's Saber, and he's gonna be walking into the barbed wire, so slowest man on planet, and that is the tie. So, brings us back to an even game. And that's it, right?
Yeah,
it's just 6.
Yaokuza
wins. Get 6. So Yakuza picks it up at the end with that tie. I felt like Index needed to be the Overwatch there, and Gashin could probably push, just because Index had so little life left. And I know that one had a Black Tower and the other one had AP, but like you can still support with the AP at that close range. So I don't know, that 3, they didn't take a frag, or I don't know if they used it earlier, but there was nothing to clear the barbed wire. I don't like Merchants lurk up by solo in through the water. Like, just hold beach, right? Make sure they're not pushing that way, because they're looking one of two ways. They're either all on pit, and you're like, nobody's looking in jungle, or there's everybody in jungle, and there's a handful of people in pit. So Merchant, just that one little choice, I felt like he was kind of like the anchor for that team, trying to like get a good amount of kills and had good angles, just pushing in a little bit too far past this team.
Yeah, and that dome was just the end of all the misfortunes for Gnomes. They had so many rounds where they could have won, and that C-store round, they could have won that 2v1. They just had to get one round there, and they just weren't able to do it, as Yakuza just... Even from a 5-4 lead, they let Yakuza get 2 rounds, and now it's just over.
Yeah, I mean, again, Gnomes put up a huge fight, and I got to really commend them, because YY is a very, very good team, and we saw Gnomes come in yesterday and do an amazing job, and so that's why it's like I was really hoping for Gnomes on this go-around. And sadly, they got double ties, which definitely pushed YY to the limit, right? And it just so happens that in that second game, YY was able to take a win, and that's the only reason why we're here. So, I mean, really, really good play from Gnomes, really pushed Yaokuza. And you can definitely see the advancement of Gnomes, and makes me excited to see them push forward as we continue through the tournament and in the future of. I hope that this team sticks together. I hope that we get to see them play some more, because with a little bit of cleanup here and there, I think their team can be probably contend with not only like beat Yaokuza, but also Global Breakout, because again, we saw them testing Global Breakout, and you guys were sweating a little bit yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So A little bit excited about seeing where that team goes for sure. So I hope they don't get discouraged by this loss, just because it was so darn close.
Yeah, I'm setting up this interview right now, but we can go to a short break. All right, I do
Sure.
have a replay we can show real quick about the merch. I still haven't shown that merchant one. But,
Oh,
yeah,
from being in
yeah.
office to literally never getting challenged and just killing everybody. Sure,
Yeah.
sure, let's go.
As you can see, the fan's still up, and Merchant's just able to shoot everyone as they're trying to shoot the fan open for their friend. But unfortunately, I was only able to get that part.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you get to see him just absolutely just KO the enemy team constantly, right? Like everybody walked in. You can see why they just walked in and died, though. It's just like we just got to get this fan open. We just got to get this fan open. But they go in kind of two and then two and just get absolutely cut down.
Yeah. But yeah. I guess we can go to. I mean, we don't have to go to a break. I just need to wait for someone from Yakuza to interview.
Sure, sure.
Let me see. But I guess we can cut to a short break real quick.
Sure, sure. We can come back to that. Absolutely.
We'll see y'all in a bit as we discuss that amazing match. I think it was like, how many rounds was that? I think we easily hit with 3 rounds, 36 max, and it was like 34 rounds or something like that.
Yep, almost hit maximum. The only way it would have maximum if we would have gotten sevens, right? So one team 7-1s, the other team 7-1s, right? That would be the only way we get maximum. So we're like, what, 2 games short?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll cut to a break real quick, and we'll see y'all later.
All right, welcome to the post-game interview of the Yaokuza versus Gnomes game. We're joined here by Photon.
Hello.
Welcome. Well, I mean, what a rousing game. I mean, I asked this question at the start for Akazo, but now that I get to talk to you, this is even better. So the first game ends in a tie. What are the mentals like going into that? Because now you know, okay, we're going to be going for 2 additional games, right? Does that change your planning at all? That you're like, hey, we got to go for this for the long haul. We can't close this out in 2. Does it make it just so that you're thinking that you need to do safer plays, or hey, we need to be a little bit more careful because like now have to do an additional game after this? Like, what is your thoughts on that?
I think that a lot of the plans were like they were quite similar, but there would be a lot more focus on, hey, they're probably going to play here because we know how they play now because of the first match. Like, it was a lot of just like iterating on the first and just trying to improve.
Absolutely. And as we watched you guys, that actually kind of leads into my next question, which was you guys, I noticed a lot compared to Gnomes, were setting up wires and like choke points where you would predict when Gnomes would actually be shifting through that area. Was that a lot of like kind of part of that planning, which was, hey, we played them in that first game, we kind of know that how they maneuver around, you know, we even saw them like throw out smokes and then try to run through and get cut down, right? From long range fire. I think there was a factory where a smoke went out from Gnomes, right, covered the door, and then I think it was either you or one of the other players ends up just shooting down range and drops 2 people in smoke, right? They're in cover technically, but laying out that like definitely crossfire and just wallbang setups. Was that like something you guys were like fully planning to fruition, or was it more like, hey, I'm going to set this up here, and if I hear them kind of jingling around, I'm going to just try to light them up?
That smoke play, although I didn't do it, it was probably just, hey, they're probably going to go through the smoke because why wouldn't they? And if I shoot them and I hit them, let's go. That's good.
Yeah.
And if I miss, whatever. So why not shoot them?
Yeah, we ended up seeing a couple of times where there was even some shots that could have gotten taken from Gnomes, and they ended up not taking the shot. because of whatever the reason was. Like there was a smoke play on Akazo had mentioned it. It was on like a kill house, and you guys threw the smoke out, and then it was being covered by the sniper, and they just never took the shot, right? Because the smoke came out, and they're like, eh. But like you guys were actually trying to take the shots on and those opportunities to see that you could do the damage. So
Yeah.
good comparison there. Akazo, do you have anything currently?
Um, I don't know. I feel like we should really highlight more of that, like the back and forth between like one team getting a round and the other team just immediately getting another round and just evening it out all the time. Was it like very tiring by the end of like that last match?
Yeah, it was quite, because like you'd still be dwindling on the fact that you lost the round before, even though you've won the round. Like there'd be just something that would cause the loss, and you're just trying to figure out, carrying forward, how could we improve on that? Because I feel that there was quite a few instances where if we just did something slightly different, we could have won the round, which did get a bit tiring, but you know, that's how you get better.
Yeah, in that last round, too, on that C store where you guys got 3 picks straight up, and then you guys started all rushing towards the
Yeah.
arcade side, and it just immediately turned into a 2v1.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, I think Dot was the only person that thought through their play and died in the like not awful position. That was just everybody being stupid.
Yeah, and as
And
we saw you kind of go through these rounds and stuff, right? This back and forth, and you trading blows with gnomes as they continued playing. You started seeing Merchant really like getting a ton of just 3 or 4K kills. Like as you were playing through the game, um, did he become like a focus? Like, hey, if we kill him, we'll have an easier time, or did he was he kind of like well, we'll just deal with him when it pops up?
I feel like we should have focused more on Merchant, to be fair, but we didn't focus on him too much. Like, he always plays in these really silly rat spots, and you can sometimes predict them. And then there's that factory where he was sat behind a door,
Yeah.
but it was on a factory. We didn't know how to call that, and he got a 4K. Which is a
Yeah.
bit annoying, but whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Well, was there and as you kind of went through these rounds, because there were a lot of really fun plays, was there anyone that like stuck out in your mind that was like a favorite of yours?
Everybody peeking the saber, not good, very bad. I mean, you know, sometimes he peeks you, sometimes you peek him. Just try not to peek him, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, good words of advice for the game just in general. If
Just
you
don't
hit
peek the
saber
snipers.
fire- Yeah, don't peek.
Yeah. Speaking of that, now the updates like they really favor like holding positions rather than peeking. Do you think what do you think about the new update?
I think it's an interesting update. I don't hate it. It's different, and it will take a long time to get used to it. But I don't think it changes too much. And I do like the balance changes with the snipers. That's a good thing as well. I don't know. I think it's alright.
Do you
Not
think it
good,
impacted?
not bad.
No, 100%.
Yeah, do you think it
Oh, go ahead.
impacted do you think it impacted how the match went, or do you think it would have went differently if it was on pre-patch?
I don't know really. I mean, it put an emphasis on shotguns, which some players used a lot.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think it was a lot less. I was expecting a lot more tubs, but I felt like there's a lot more auto shotgun play than
Yeah.
the normal shotguns. Yeah,
Yeah, we did see a shotgun or two, right? But yeah, I like you thought they would be a little bit more prevalent here even in that patch. But I think teams are still kind of like acclimating to this new scenario that they're in, right? Where shotguns can be very strong. They're very reliable. They can hit from distance even, right?
I don't
So
think they're that good, to be honest.
really,
I think they're alright. I think they are balanced, not overpowered.
I
Because
think that
like
yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
always
Well, I
just
agree with that.
wallbang them. Like just if they're stood still like in the spot, shoot them.
Absolutely. Well, I think Snarms would disagree with you, right? But like, but in any case, yeah, I thought these rounds came away really well. Was there any plans or anything that you really like? Were there any maps or plays that were kind of like threw a curveball that kind of stuck out in your mind at all?
The C store in the second match, where there was a very long sight line in storefront, and we were playing on defense,
Yeah.
and Gnomes went into arcade and green. That threw us off so much. There's people peeking sabers left and right, shotguns, mania.
Absolutely.
Was it this map perchance?
Yes,
pulls
that
up
one.
a
Yeah.
review.
Ah, my God. The
Yeah,
lights didn't help.
Yeah, well, they end up putting the lights out, right? I think this is one where you had somebody in the corner, right? And they blow
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
wrap around. Yeah. Yeah, God, the angles on this were so long for a storefront, too. So it's, unless you've got that nailed down, it's such an advantageous position. And arcade is so strong here as well, right?
Yeah.
Poor. I think that wasn't that ghetto that actually
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wrecked. He's like, I'm playing anti-flash by looking into the ground. And just some dude in NPGs walks around the corner and blows him away. Oh boy.
Yeah, we did get quite wiped in that round, to be fair. Leaving it only to Tommy, and yeah. To be fair, the outside barb there, if we were playing in that corner, would have been really good.
Yep.
Because,
100%. So funny. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember this one. It was interesting. I mean, like, you guys had set up for that north play, and I think just that west play off of that arcade just kind of, yeah. I mean, I think both teams ended up doing that too, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of went in off of that side. So, but
Yeah.
that's about all I've got. Akaza, do you have anything else you wanted to throw in?
Now I'm like addicted to trying to look for more replays to talk about, but it's so interesting to watch. But I don't know. That seemed pretty fun. I'm sure you guys had a bunch of fun.
yeah.
We don't see close games like that very often. But yeah. Anything you want to say, Photon? Shoutouts?
Shout out to me.
Let's go.
Did pick up some good pick angles and kills and stuff there. So yeah, Photon did really, really good. I did think at one point I did call you out for having the most damage on your team at a time. So yeah, definitely putting in the work there, man. So good work. Congratulations on the win. And yeah, close game between you and the Gnomes. We pulled it out. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So since Yakuza won there, I think it's gonna be GB versus Yakuza next weekend, and it's gonna be a best of 5. That's gonna be interesting. I encourage everyone to make some time to watch that. Hopefully, it's going to be as close, or maybe even closer. But
yeah, Photon, how are you feeling about going into GB next week?
Confident, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
cautious
Absolutely.
confidence, because I'm here.
Yes. I don't know.
No trash talk. We're absolutely gonna slap them. We're gonna put them in the ground. Kazo, we're gonna hit you so hard you can't even cast anymore. Is that?
Yeah, you're not even gonna be able to think straight. You were like, "What was that?" And we're gonna like walk through walls, and you're gonna die. Nah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for.
Alright.
I'm waiting to complain about shotguns. But yeah. Is that it?
Kazo shotgun only for finals versus YY. Is this confirmed? No.
Oh my gosh. If the shotguns are really that powerful, I feel like it has gotten a super huge buff.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. It could go.
You gotta
either way.
remember, it's only really in the aimed format too, right? Like they got the buff when you're
Yeah.
not moving and have them aimed, right? So
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know what the time is exactly, but for trying to do pop shots, right, where you like quick aim and try to get the shot, whatever that timer is, whoever on the shotgun sides gets that down to a perfection to be able to get the one shots, that's gonna be especially when you're using them, is going to be key. But excellent. Well, thank you so much, Photon, for joining us here in this little rambling long interview. But guys, if you don't have anything else, I'll close this out here.
Nope. Go ahead if you're watching. Thanks
All
for
right.
watching. Be sure to follow DPL on YouTube, Twitter, and all that. This VOD will probably go up on Twitter soon, or I mean YouTube soon. Also, shout out to Photon. He usually lets us use his music for the intros and outros, and you'll probably hear it in a second here. But yeah, thanks for watching. We will see y'all next time.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next week for this game of Yaokuza versus Global Breakout next week. So stay tuned. We'll see you then.
All right.